Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie, never gonna true.
Patrick, vous n'avez pas perdu la main?
Est-ce que vous pouvez couper le...
On va regarder un film sur la...
And we're back once again.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Lilith. Pug dance, pug dance, pug dance.
We had Phoenix on here, but his system crashed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will probably be a slow stream. A lot of things I'm probably going to cover are things that I meant to last week, but we had a storm come through like we do every other fucking week, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know. I hate it. It just seems like every damn time we go to stream, the damn weather says no.
God, if you will.
I don't think God has anything to do with it.
We got people showing up. We got Valkyria Winter. We've got he says Hell All and Skull. I don't know. We have a drive-by Otzel.
Hi, Dax.
Of course, we have Lilith, and we have Midnight Ladybug. And now we have Phoenix.
Hey, everyone.
What the hell did you do, Phoenix? How come? Oh God, you're just kind of all over the place.
I'm not sure what happened, but I had to get it working.
Well, if it works, it works.
Hi, Lilith.
And not to mention, we had no power. There was a storm.
For those of you here right now, just get it out of the way and hit that fucking like button. I know it's annoying me going, hit this, do this, tickle your balls and do the Humpty Dumpty. I don't, what the fuck ever, right? Just hit that like button. I'll get the fuck out of the way.
Yep, hit the like button.
Yeah, hit that like button.
We had a storm. We had no power all afternoon and into the
internet.
night. No internet. Yeah.
And this, especially in the summertime, happens every other week at least once.
Mm-hmm. And the neighbors' dogs got out, and we were having to chase them too. They thought it would be a real good time to hit the road.
It's been an extremely stressful last few days. So this isn't the most feel-good stream going on right now, but we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, we will manage. Phoenix, does that cat sit on that chair all the time, or is it just when you're in it?
Just not a minute.
That's what I thought.
If I'm on the couch, it sits on the treadmill over there.
So many jokes, so little time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a pussy on your head, but I thought I better not. Oh well, wait a minute. I just said it. I'm sorry. I just said it. So I hope everybody else had a good weekend.
So, what's been going on with you two lately?
Not a whole lot. Just mostly work and whatnot. What about you?
Aren't you boring? Okay, and what about you?
Well,
Shave
No.
Phoenix's beard and he will make a good femboy. Just saying.
No.
oh my God.
No.
Well,
Well,
today I had to take one of my puppies to the vet. It's got fucking parvo. And I can't figure out how. I cannot figure out how it got it in the first place. There's no reason for it.
and it's been vaccinated against parvo, but it's still a puppy. So just like when you get a flu shot, you might get the flu. I imagine that's how it happened.
Well, I mean, so I've got all that to deal with, but other than that, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Oh,
Oh,
Lilith ain't got no liquor.
no acid either.
Oh God. Oh no. She says at least she still has tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take nicotine away from a smoker or a vapor, but more so a smoker, they will lose their fucking minds on you.
Yeah. I mean,
One time I was devoted to quitting, and I was very fucking devoted, and I threw all the cigarettes out. I even, at the same time I quit caffeine and sodas. I threw it all out. About a week and a half had passed. I was staying strong on it. Wasn't gonna fuck with it. But everybody around me was begging, please have a cigarette and a soda.
yeah, I went and bought you some. I was like, I can't take this shit no more. I gotta do something. So,
The little fucking queer cat's running off.
oh, Dax.
He
Oh,
did
okay. Well,
what do you call it? I don't know, also drive by or something. I guess he's trying to
yeah.
mark his territory. I don't know.
I can see him in a little beep beep car,
Oh yeah. And we have Hatredy, also known as the Goon Room, also known as Mikey.
Mikey.
You know when they go AKA, that means also known as.
Yeah. But yeah, I could just see Dax driving by in his little car, beep beep, beep and doing a drive by. That'd be so cute. Just a little bitty car, like one of them itty bitty cars. You can't fit but like two people in it.
No. I mean, he's like this big or something. I don't know, something like
Yeah,
that.
one of them little bitty cars, like you see on the cartoons.
Driving by and humping knees. He'll have across his little car, he'll say, D's nuts.
Yeah. These nuts. But
Okay.
yeah,
Were you going to say more about what's going on with
No.
you lately?
that was it.
We'll make up something.
What? No. I can't make up nothing. You can't make up the shit that goes on around here.
No, my truth is stranger than fiction. If I told it, most of you fuckers out there wouldn't believe it.
Probably.
Tolls are an extra $20, and you have to pay him with real bucks like deer.
I
Yeah,
wonder
that'd be
if
messed
Dax
up.
has to shave his feet because of the fur.
I bet he does.
You know how sometimes you have to shave cats and dogs' paws because of the fur? It gets matted in between their toes and they can't walk good. I wonder if Dax has to do that too.
Okay, we all know he's a human Californian. The question is, why is he compelled to role play as a little make believe animal?
That is a good question.
Reality stinks.
Oh, we got another drive by. no, but he streams a lot. He plays a lot of games on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Get
know.
some sleep, Mikey.
I don't know if he's got another job or not. I don't know, but good luck with that. Either way.
Oh, we got Charlie
we
Nuclear.
Yeah, we have Charlie Nuclear. I think he comes here to dump his nuclear waste.
He comes here for the snatch clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for it every time.
Yep, every time. Ugh. Ew. Ew, Lilith. Nuclear snatch.
That would explain why it turned out like it did.
Yeah.
All right. I'll probably just be covering old news on this stream. Won't be exciting, but if you want to interact and make it exciting, do so and make it fun. If you want to see some nasty ass clips, you can always make a donation for it. Super chat on Rumble. Grift.
Grift. I don't have any pennies. I need to get a penny box.
No. If you're shaking pennies, that means you have something.
Oh yeah, that's true. That does mean we have a little money.
You gotta use a hat like this one.
No, not that one. No, it's got to be like a fedora or something.
Well, I don't have a fedora.
We'll get one.
Yes, Rumble is behind. It's on the little yellow bus. And if you're not, I don't know if they have that in every country, but in America, they put the slow kids or the special needs kids on a shorter yellow bus.
Yeah.
But I appreciate Rumble. There's less censorship or virtually no censorship. They allow me to have, donations, super chats, memberships, and all such. While YouTube runs my fucking watch hours in reverse.
Yeah, I know. You can see it in real time almost.
Yeah, I'll just do a video and I get a decent number of views for my videos anyway, right? I'll get like 60 watch hours on the initial video, which for me that's good. I'll watch the motherfucking watch hours and it will count 2 of them. I've even had that many hours, not to mention the hours on the other stuff I put out. And then I watch it go by and I've seen it go in reverse, even though it reported that I got that many hours.
Oh shit.
So yeah, on that, come over to Rumble, hit that $sign for a super chat or the gift for a membership. Subscribe and support us because we need it, and fuck you too.
Yeah.
That's called shadow ban. Yeah, and that's what actually this shadow ban took hold on what feels like on day 1. And every time I've not every time, but a good many times I brought that up to people that'd be like, there's no such thing. You need to get good. You need to get better. You need to edit. You need to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, at the time, I was busting my ass. I was spending hours editing every video. I was putting out 3+ videos a day and doing a live stream. I was busting my fucking ass. And I was like, I need to, what? What can I? I'm already doing it. What do you mean? So I was like, fuck, I am not gonna put up all this effort for being shadow banned, right? I'm spinning in place, digging a hole deeper and deeper.
Yeah, it's very frustrating too. I mean, you spend all the time trying to do, the best you can with it, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it's like it won't give people the notifications. It won't count the watch hours or any of that. So it's like, well, what's the fucking point? If is it's just it's very frustrating to say the least. So that's why Rumble is good.
Rumble has been really good, a lot better than YouTube has.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's been times, I gave people my direct URL to the channel and they put it in and said they couldn't find it.
Yeah, I
Isn't that
know.
some shit?
Yeah, I couldn't find it, and I put it in, and it came up with nothing. So
Well, Lila says she at least gets notifications for this now, which is good, but she's also probably our most loyal viewer.
Yeah.
And we have Roadkill 101.
hi,
Yeah,
Roadkill.
Roadkill.
Yeah, on this stream, there are no such rules as we can only speak about gaming. Don't dare open your mouth about anything but gaming. There's no such rules. You can say 99% of everything here.
Charlie says people can't find his either.
There's avoiding it because it's nuclear. No,
Looks like
I actually when I looked up his and I subscribed to it, I looked up his and I found it right off. So, but I'm not saying he's wrong. I mean, I'm just saying my experience. I found it right off.
Well, looks like his would glow from the heavens, it being nuclear. I wonder if nuclear stuff glows green all the time. I mean, I know some of it does, but I'm wondering if it all does. All radioactive materials, if it glows
No,
green.
a lot of times you won't notice the effect at all until after a few minutes, and you get nauseous and other symptoms. You can be in a highly radioactive place or next to an object, and you won't know it. So you're sick from it, and then you still won't be able to identify it. But then again, I would imagine there's a variety of different types of radiations.
Well, the reason why I ask,
And he says it might be warm, and that's also true.
well, the reason why I ask is when that nuclear plant blew up, the nuclear reactor blew up in Russia, all the people and stuff, they had to evacuate, of course. But and after a while, the animal life that lives there was a study done, and they're bigger. They're actually bigger,
Yeah.
like the wolves and the deer and all that
Well,
stuff.
there may be a higher chance for them to have or develop cancer. Yeah, it may have affected their growth, but it also might give them cancer. I mean, I'd really have to know more on it.
Hmm.
If you're on YouTube, hit that heart reaction button to help the channel, help the algorithm, help the channel, and fuck YouTube, shadow ban. But do it anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, I read what the researchers said, and it was very interesting. The animals in Russia that live around that nuclear reactor, they in some ways they're a lot healthier than the other animals that don't live in the area. It was weird. They said it affected
That actually
very
reminds me of
strange.
the study on hermaphrodites. They're usually healthy. I guess they have a good, strong feed of testosterone and estrogen, but their genitals are usually uh, well endowed, overdeveloped. I
Hmm.
just found that to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. But I digress. So, what's the first topic you have?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do topics. Let's see.
You're not the Pope. Quit doing the hand sign like the
Would
Pope does.
would this be better?
No, that's worse. No, it's better.
uh, she's referring to hermaphrodites. You know, the term comes from Aphrodite,
Hmm.
which is the goddess of what again?
Love.
Ew. Okay. Uh, sure. Love can be a grand thing, but it is also leads to a shitload of bad things. Charlie Nuclear says, I have had a couple of people tell me they couldn't find it. Not a lot I can do but take their word for it. You know how it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. I've had dozens tell me they couldn't find it. Everybody's going, you're shadow banned. And I'm going, no shit. I mean, not rude, but
Yeah.
I don't know what he's referring to there.
I don't know what is
Well,
that.
I am not hip to the lingo.
It might be another language.
I had to look it up, but I'm worried too.
I don't want to. I
Roadkill
just
loves his fudas indeed. Lady boys, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not hip to the lingo. I'm not in the loop. I'm not right there in the know, and I'm glad I'm not. I'd
I
rather
don't
be way the fuck over here, right? Be like all this shit going on, right?
yeah. I think I'd rather just somebody just tell me what it is instead of me going and looking it up because I'm scared to.
He's probably also referring to the hermaphrodite, and it's probably like I was thinking something like a lady boy, a hermaphrodite,
Hmm.
which is a fetish for some people. Some people like Valkyria winner, possibly. All I know is what he put on Dan's Discord. That's all I know.
Oh, hermaphrodite is a futa in anime. I did
Ah,
not know that. Well, huh. You learn something every day.
Yeah, I'm not hip to the latest what the fuck ever. Uh, you could call me old. I don't know. I'm not into the latest slang, the lingo, the latest games, the latest anime. I guess I'm just an old fucker. I don't know, but I am who I am.
Well,
Val loves that shit.
if if what you
Okay,
say
look, wait,
is
wait.
true,
For these people who watch porn that has men and women, right? Then why? What How is that different than a fuda, or however you might say it, or hermaphrodite? How is that different if you're watching a man sling his junk into a woman and balls bouncing and her moaning, and how's it different?
I don't know. I don't know.
So they're going, oh, they love that shit. No, they love that shit. It's like if you watch porn with men and women, you probably both love it without realizing it.
That's just wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, I'm a fucking weirdo. I only look at porn that's got women. I don't want to see dick and balls. I just don't. Do not. Absolutely do not. Okay. Moving on. I'll bring up something kind of fun to begin with. Wait, give me a moment here. The Kool-Aid Man challenge is back and it's destroying homeowners' fences. Now this, Kool-Aid Man, where they bust through something and go, oh yeah, that's not new. They've been doing that since what, the 80s?
Yeah.
But apparently the young people have caught on to it.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
they're
Yeah.
gonna ruin it.
Okay, so here's a clip of them doing it.
Security video captured the vandalism. Teens breaking through PVC fencing while recording it. It's called the Kool-Aid Man Challenge, modeled after popular commercials from the 70s.
Well, wait. PVC fences. First of all, since when they make fences out of that shit? Secondly, why don't they act like they got balls and run through a real fence?
Yeah.
Right. Let me clarify. They shouldn't be destroying anyone's property, obviously. But if you're going to,
Well, I've seen in Lowe's, I've seen PVC fences.
what's the point? You know, you might as well have wet cardboard fences.
70s and 80s. Homeowner Charles Damiani, a retired New York City corrections officer, was the unfortunate target of the prank.
That's when I heard the bang. It sounded like a gun go off. I ran outside. I got a description of the vehicle.
In the dead of night, Damiani ran out to see this, several sections of his fence missing. When he looked at his security video, he watched teens break right through the fence.
We're believing that it's a TikTok challenge.
Suffolk police say the kids were recording themselves and that Damiani's house wasn't the only one they hit.
On the night in question, it looks like 4 homes were actually hit and that we were able to tie to these individuals. There may be other properties that we're looking into. It's still under investigation.
While police were taking a statement from Damiani, security video shows the kids returned and broke through yet another section of fence.
This time was another bang. We heard it from up front.
Could you imagine being such a pussy you can't bust through that flimsy shit?
Yeah.
I can see why they picked something so soft.
Yeah.
I can't. I would be ashamed of myself. I mean, really, I would.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if that's the best you can do, why even bother?
There was this time, right? They were tearing down this old house, and I knew the owners, so I asked them if I could help. So I took a run and I busted through the wall, went through the entire fucking place and busted through the other wall. It didn't fall until the way back, and I busted through twice more, and then it fell. I did pop a few support beams along the way. Just with my hand. I didn't straight run into them, but busted through the wall, pop, busted through another wall, and then came back, busted through 2 more, hit the support beam again. Yes, it was stupid. Obviously, it was stupid, but I've done a lot of stupid shit. The thing is, I recognize that it was stupid, and I'm older and wiser.
Yeah.
But the point being, what kind of pussy boy can't bust through that flimsy shit?
Well, you're a regular wrecking ball. Hell was hiring
And that's when I ran to the road and I jumped in front of the car and stopped him.
Police got all 6 of the kids to leave the car, the oldest 18, the youngest just 12. Their parents were called and they all were given desk appearance tickets.
They were just driving around, kicking in fences. What if you're 12 years old? You're out at 4 o'clock in the morning. Where are your parents?
Damiani says a few weeks ago his fence was broken overnight. Now he believes this was the result of the same prank. Police have a message for other kids thinking about the prank.
This is a really bad decision that, they shouldn't be influenced by social media or their friends. I mean, I know it seems fun and it might seem like a prank, but there's a real, it's criminal and they will be held accountable.
Okay,
Okay, then.
I got something to say on this.
Well, first of all, I've got to read these comments. I've just fell through drywall, so he's saying he's fell through drywall before. Yeah, I have too. This time I leaned on it and just it reminds me of these martial artists, and they're breaking these boards. I used to be a martial artist, and I did one of those displays for people. Whether it be the boards or whether it be the concrete, you can thump it and break it. Seriously, you're holding it. If you just, it will break. Those things they're nothing but show. But go ahead.
If I had kids and I got a call from the damn police that they was out at 4:00 in the fucking
Soy
morning.
boys.
If I got a call from the cops saying my kids was out at 4:00 in the damn morning busting people's fences, they better put them in jail, because when I get a hold of them, they gonna wish they was in jail.
Okay, I get the sentiment there, but the reality of it is a lot of times they put teenagers in jail and they get raped immediately.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
wouldn't put them through that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Oh no, I said the R word on YouTube. They're gonna shadow ban me.
Oh no.
But, well, rather than have them go to jail, they would still wish they were in jail when I got done with them. Make me get out of the bed, get my slippers on and everything else to go down to the darn police station and get them damn kids.
I once did break a real brick. It was in a wall. It was cinder block types, but that was a whole wall made of them, and they were painted. And I broke it, but I also broke my knuckle.
Yeah. It feels like I broke bricks before also, and I remember my knuckles bleeding. I might have been drunk.
This is probably the
Well,
case.
When you buy blocks now, like cinder blocks, they're not what they used to be. While handling them, they break. If you just drop them on the ground, they break. Some things used to be solid as fuck, but now they'll break in your hands.
Yeah, they break real easy now.
I remember I broke one. Me. I just, and the ground was real soft and everything. And I said, well, I'll just put this here, and I let it drop, and it broke in half. I'm going, what the fuck is this?
Lilith says you can break it, but most time you break bones. It hurts, but I never broke a bone doing it before. I mean, it hurting is part of the process.
She's talking about the orange. Oh, the industrial cinder blocks. The orange.
Oh, the little brown reddish.
Oh, yeah, I've done
I
that too.
don't know specifically what they're called, but yeah, those they're more dense, but they do break more easily.
Yeah.
Oh, she says they use real bricks in Europe. Like stone. They're like stone. I imagine so.
Yeah, I hear. There's this meme that kind of goes around, like Americans punching walls and putting holes in them, and like there's no Europeans that do that because the walls there are solid as fuck.
Well, can you imagine somebody doing that to a castle? Oh, Even the doors in those castles are hundreds and hundreds of years old, and you would break every bone in your arm if you did that shit. They back then people built stuff to last, and in America there is no such thing anymore. Everything is disposable, basically. That's why.
Well, you got so many people here. They have to make everything real cheap to provide to everybody and everything. They tear down all the old places.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, this prefabricated crap is crappier.
Yeah, it is. That's like houses that were built 100 years ago are still standing, and houses that are built now, well, shit, they've gone downhill so damn bad in 5 years that you gotta do so much repairs to them. It's just not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I meant to cover this like last week, so a lot of the stuff I have is old news. But there isn't, not that I found anyway, not much new news that's very interesting. Or, well, okay, some is, but I don't want to just cover the same thing that everybody else is covering. In some cases, I still do. What we have here,
Oh no. Oh no, I know what it is.
we have this
Ah,
person. Well, they were caught in a secret Discord harassing Smash JT and Grums. Now, I don't think the terminology is right there, because to harass them, they would have had to be in there with them. But rather, what they were doing was making plans to how they could harass them, but not only harass, how they could uh, essentially dig up dirt on them, blackmail them, get them blacklisted, the whole gambit, right? Has Mercanti and her group has now been exposed behind a private paywall Discord server associated directly with the Western Kabuki
Kabuki.
podcast. Kabuki, whatever. I am not good with these foreign words. The Discord was being used with the other failed games journalists. So apparently it was mostly games journalists to dig up dirt on Smash's past employment history, as well as contribute to a orchestrated smear campaign against Grums. And it cost people $10 to even join this Discord.
Oh dear. I'm just wondering, I don't understand these people. I mean,
So it was the person that goes by Gigabear that exposed this. He infiltrated the server and provided screenshots of the damning conversation. So this is not hearsay, it's not mudslinging, whatever. This is, hard proof. Inside this channel, users including Alyssa Mercani, Nick Calendra from Second Wind, and others, Mick Dizzle, Airbagged, Thief Pal, Spew. So there's a whole group of these anti-woke hunters. They chatted about those ideological disagreements with, like, Grums, the outspoken developer, working with M. Ader, I don't know, and some like Alyssa Mercani specifically plotting further takedowns.
Oh.
In one thread, as it shows above, user Thief Power, according to Grums, accessed stolen data breach credentials, including plain text, emails, and passwords, to unearth Grums' old online ventures. The shocking reveal: over 20 years ago, Grums apparently operated a softcore anime BDSM site that published commissioned art and fan fiction, fully legal, subscription-based, and tamed by today's standards. But the takeaway here is they did a data breach to acquire this.
Which, if I'm right, isn't that illegal?
I think it is illegal.
Oh, it's very illegal. Yeah, that's the that's the big takeaway. It's very illegal, and they were caught admitting to it. And it was to expose Grums. Another user, B, aka Wash Your Crack on X, admitted they couldn't prove anything, but then proceeded to post Grums' private login credentials. So that's also illegal.
Well, my thing is that what is, you know,
Well, it says Grom's plans on presenting the information to the FBI for further investigation. And it says here, let's be clear, this is a coordinated cyber stalking operation and it's extremely illegal. The fact Alyssa Mercani, who is currently suing Smash JT, is caught up in all this nonsense makes it all that much wilder. So yes, it is the group of them, and they are hunting people like me, not me because I'm a nobody, but people like me doing streams like I do, similar to what I do. I mix it up. I throw in all kinds of stuff, comedy, chit chat, audience engagement, touch of politics, touch of gaming, whatever comes up. But I would still be considered in that sphere of people. I'm just not popular enough to attack, apparently.
Well, my thing is this.
Oh fuck! The page is freaking out. Okay, Nick Landra is seen mocking Craig from Side Scrollers, mocking him. It looks like he's having a seizure. It's still doing it. Well, actually, this is a bug in Smash JT's website. It does this sometimes. Airbag is coordinating brigading efforts on X via community notes.
Okay, so let me see if I've got all this straight.
Calm down, Paige.
Let me see if I've...
There's more, but this is glitching out on me. I think I'll leave it there. You can discuss.
Okay, let me see if I've got all this straight. She is suing Smash JT for her online harassment. Yet she has continuously done him that way and other people. And now, come to find out, she's getting people together in this private Discord server to do that very thing to people.
To hack, to dox, to, anything she can do to get them deplatformed. And the mass majority of what she's doing is highly illegal. And it's not just her, it's a whole group of them doing it. And in the sphere of anti-woke people, we talk, and we've been saying probably for a year that we believe that they were doing this. And it turns out they are.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when you first started saying it.
Now, but there's a lot of people look at me like, you're new to the scene. Not that new. It's just I'm shadow banned and I'm quite unknown and kind of disliked, but it is what it is.
Well, okay. Now, if they present this to the judge, and they're going to, I'm sure, because it's evidence, wouldn't by law that judge have to throw her case completely out of the water and then say, and then say, okay, well, now since you did this, this is illegal, so we're going to start another case against you?
If it was, a jury, they would probably stick more to the law, and then it'd be up to the jury ultimately. And of course, the judge can add to the jury's decision, but it is not to a jury. It's just to a lawyer, and the lawyer, judge. It's up to the judge, and the judge can essentially do whatever the hell they want. Okay. They can.
Because if
I'm sure there's people out there going, how many times have you been to court?
Yeah, that is true. Well,
first time I was in court, the judge looked at me and said, "The law don't matter here, boy." Yeah, and he kind of talked like that. And my court-appointed lawyer, another time, not the first time, my court-appointed lawyer says, "You son of a bitch, we're gonna put you under the jail." And I'm like, "But you're supposed to be my lawyer." What? No, they can do whatever they want to do. You could keep battling it if you can afford to. You might bring it to a higher court. You might put it in front of a jury, whatever. But even then, you would have to get judges to agree that it can be furthered.
Yeah, that is true. But if I was the judge if I was kind of sitting on the fence going, okay, this is both he said, she said bullshit, and then they gave me this kind of information, I'd be going, okay,
Okay.
I see how it is.
Okay, they both have a shitload of evidence, if you will. Most judges I've encountered will not consider all these records evidence. They will call it the courts that I'm used to going to. I've been to many, many, many times. They would call it mudslinging, and they despise mudslinging. They might charge them both for even coming with them with all this crap.
Yeah, you do have a good point. Judges do hate mudslinging. They'll tell you quick, don't do that shit in their courtroom.
Yeah.
And you might have, legally speaking, you might have a good reason for everything you present. That doesn't mean the judge will see it that way.
True.
Not to mention, this is a female judge. It is a Democrat appointed judge who is championing the cause of women and children. They're, from all evidence, a hardened liberal.
Yeah, I hope for the best for Smash and all that, but I think it's going to go somewhere in the middle.
Well, yeah, I honestly believe because of the judge, they will mostly side with her, but they will probably both come out of it a little burnt.
Yeah.
Burnt, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah. So, what do you...
But to continue the topic, I have seen streamers now being afraid to associate with certain shows, certain streams. I have seen it put a fear into them. And I say, do it any fucking way. I say, don't back down. I say, keep being you, keep being strong. You can't let this kind of thing stop you, because even offline, or in some cases, especially offline, you will encounter these kind of people who want to ruin you for just existing.
Yeah.
Because we have a difference of opinion. Okay, we can mock them, we can meme them, and all this stuff, but speaking in general, not for everybody, but in general, we are not trying to absolutely ruin them.
Mm-mm.
And that really paints a picture of the sides. Of course, anyone looking from the outside at the anti-woke and the hardcore woke, they're like, oh my God, ooh, you're both nuts. Just get away from me. And that's the problem. So, which reminds me, I've also seen streamers for that reason decide to go moderate. So they will have some amount of credibility. So some amount of people will listen to them. The problem is, going moderate leaves you very vulnerable and does not speak for what's really happening, does not speak for us who's trying to be the voice of what's really happening.
Well, the thing is if everybody gets to be afraid,
They would be nasty.
yeah, they would. Let's don't do it. No. There's not enough hot sauce in the whole world that can cover that. And you'll just end up making yourself sick. But the point that I was going to make is if people give in to fear, then they've won. That's it. That's it, and that's all. Because laws will get made and everything else, and they can do what they want. And they can hurt a lot of people. So, and that goes with any zealot side that you pick. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you are wanting to be taken seriously, I say call it out in a very level but blunt way, almost a scientific way. You must pick it apart very logically and make sure not to throw slurs of any type in there. That if you want to go forward to represent the anti-woke, if you will, that's the way I would suggest doing it.
Well, I have a problem with that because I get too mad too quick. And rather than respond, I choose not to say much of anything because if I do, it's going to
I
be
get
bad.
that. I get there's a lot of things I let slide. I just let go. People having their little fits, and I just walk away from it. And there's some people look at me and go, "You're a pussy. You didn't do nothing." It's like, that's right. I did nothing, because if I had, it might mean prison and hospital for one or both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, there's things I let go.
And that's why I don't say when somebody's being a jackass like that. That's why I don't say much, because if I really spoke my mind, oh my God.
Now, yes, I speak against the woke. I am a voice of the anti-woke, sure. But I'm not taking a real hard stance on it, because I will throw a slur here and there. If nothing else, in a jokingly manner, because I like to, make my streams fun. And I believe comedy is a big part of my stream, or at least I hope it comes across that way. Most people do not take me seriously until they do. And the moment they do, they only take me as a threat. I'm trying not to be a threat. I'm just trying to have a fun stream that has that's also informative.
Yeah.
That's the best way to go about it.
I mean, that's the best way to be, because, in the end, we really can't do much
Well,
about any of it anyway.
and then you have a certain subset of people that'll be like, "Ooh, that's political. Ew, ew, ew." And it's like, this is online bickering that found its way into court. It's not really connected to politics. Yes, these people have different ideologies, but what they are doing, the actions they are doing, is not political actions. It has nothing to do with Congress. It has nothing to do with the laws. It's mostly online personalities trying to get at one another.
Yeah.
This is not politics. Now, if you still go, yes, it is, anything in the world you look at, you can connect politics to it. You can be like, I like to eat this kind of food, and they'll be like, well, GMOs, politics. You can be like, well, I like to go to this kind of church, religion and politics. Pick something. It's going to have a side dish of politics right with it. So when I'm covering things, they're going, ew, this political, ew, no, politics. Either everything's politics or nothing's politics. I mean, unless you are talking about Congress and the laws that are passed and that type of thing, I think their mind's making a leap because their emotions are tied to it in that way.
Well,
Disagree with me? That's okay. That's all right. We can disagree and not hate one another. That's a problem with a lot of the world. We can disagree and we don't have to hate each other.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I mean, when you think about it, you can't even go to church without politics being in the church, and that's the
Shit,
one
somebody asked a fucking question about if Native Americans was religious, and I answered, and I got fucking barked at because I don't know, because it was religious and politics. I don't even know. I can't be sure. Or maybe they just thought they knew better than the whole fucking world and history and Google and all the tribes. And anyway,
Yeah, they were really barking at you. I heard it.
But I'm not going to get into all that. All I'm saying is people tend to tie politics into things when it isn't political. Anything can be viewed as political. That more than anything means you're looking at things through a political lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Well-
say I like this video game. Well, that was made by a bunch of lefties. Don't you know the head writer was a tranny? You know, you get my point, right? Everything can be associated with politics.
Yeah. See, that's why I never understood people that say this is too left for me or too right for me. I say just go into it and think for yourself. Don't think about these little basically sports groups. That's what it is to me. It's like little teams.
You can draw your lines, right? But you draw your lines at actions, not you know, like, oh, they talked about this, therefore, you know, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words fuck you in the head, I guess.
Well, you know, at the end
I don't know
of,
if I've made my point clear, but I hope in some way it got across to a few people.
well, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Because the quicker
Because
people
we have funds.
Yeah. We have fun.
the quicker people realize they are not in control of a damn thing.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You got people acting they're cheerleading for this side or that side, and it's like, calm down. First of all, they don't tell you what's really going on. Secondly, it don't matter how hard you vote. It don't matter how hard you protest. It don't matter how hard you cheerlead. You're not changing anything.
Nope,
Yeah.
not a damn
Now, okay,
thing.
on that note, I may be on here being anti-woke, and it may not change anything. But I'm going to do it anyway because, like I've often said, I'm going to bitch anyway. I might as well do it in front of a camera.
You might as well get other people to help you bitch.
Yeah.
It's better when you got more than it's better when you bitch with other people.
Yeah. All I gotta say to all that is you just gotta think for yourself. Don't let other people make your decisions for you.
Yeah, and you're like, nobody makes my decisions for me, but your feelings do. And if your feelings are swayed by others, guess what? Guess what
Yeah.
that means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you find yourself thinking this is too leftist for
You're a
me, that's
puppet.
someone else making your decisions for you. Or is it too rightist, whatever it is to you. Anything like
Or you're a puppet.
Isn't that in one of Ozzy's songs?
Hey, Phoenix has a puppet.
Yes, I do. 1 second. Gotta get out of that breaking smells off. Okay.
Where the hell did you pull that out of, Phoenix?
That's a secret.
Ask.
No,
Ask.
you need one of those sticks for his arm.
I got it right here. Just didn't set it up.
Oh my goodness, here we go with the puppets.
Hey, everybody.
Oh God. This is so
It's-
stupid.
It's me as well. Hey.
I could have swore
Wait, let me tell you, you are not good with names.
as
No,
well.
I am not.
I could have swore the first time you said that thing's name, I could have swore you said Asswell. I'm going, what the fuck kind of a name is that?
Your puppet's cracked out.
Yep,
It's all messed up.
he needs to go into rehab.
You spent too long on Sesame Street. Went to the wrong part of it.
Oh no, Lilith says she heard ass wet.
It's like,
Okay. So we've got ass well, and now we've got ass wet.
change that fucking puppet's name already.
Change it.
Okay, we go with Bob.
Phoenix, you've got no imagination.
Keep Aswell away from Grouch. He's always on the druggies.
He likes hanging out with Grouch and Animal and all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. You're gonna come home and like, Aswell, what are you doing? Quit it.
Yeah. Oh. You made Lilith cough. She wasted her smoke.
Yeah, it seems to have that effect on people.
I hate it when you do that.
You come home, you're like, what? I've got to take my cat to the vet. It's been walking funny. And you're like, Aswell, you didn't.
Oh no.
And the vet finds some blue fiber in its butt. It's like, okay, we know what's been going on.
Oh yeah. It's a slow stream, but I almost forgot to mention. Welcome, Zombied. I think that's how you say it, Zombied.
Yeah.
Also, to me, it looks like Zombadoid.
Hey, zombie.
Zombade. It's Zombade.
Hello.
No, but we've had Zombie on this stream before. He's really cool.
Yeah.
So he's always welcome here. Okay, on in a similar vein to the last thing we just covered before we got into the puppet weirdness. In a similar vein, more gossip back and forth and internet bullshit. Razor Fist threatens a libel claim on YouTube against Smash JT. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Razor Fist, but he's a really big YouTuber. I mean, he's got numbers like crazy.
Yeah.
I just find him to be a cocky ass. Really, that I've tried to watch his stuff and he just comes off like, you know, a cocky asshole. YouTube Razor Fist is threatened to issue libel claims, so it's only a threat on YouTube against fellow YouTuber Smash JT over the fall of Razor Fist video he published to YouTube back in January, where he accuses Razor Fist of holding an ex-girlfriend captive at his house. So he waited this long to threaten this libel suit. Just waited. The things they accuse this man of doing, and no, it's not Smash accusing him, it's others accusing him. Just wait till we get into it. Razor Fist's ex-girlfriend claiming he dated her when she was 15. Smash JT reacted to this information saying that was some of the he said, she said stuff that sure you can raise an eyebrow and kind of say, huh, that's a little weird. Oh, that's a little bit suspicious. That's odd. That's weird. If we are to believe these people, then wow, that's wild. These are allegations. They're very wild accusations, but holy crap, if they're true, that is some serious stuff. I know it sounds like I was stroking out reading that, but Smash JT phrased it very disjointedly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They showed a video that had been leaked from apparently his ex-girlfriend that was being held captive in a way at his house. So supposedly there's video evidence that he held his young girlfriend captive at the house. Says they started dating when she was 15. Doesn't mention his age, but I take it that they're implying he was of adult age. Smash JT commented, Razor Fist doesn't want her to have a job to make money to be able to support herself and not be out on the streets so that he can trap her in his house. Hey, that's the best way to do it. Smash JT reacted. Did he just like shout at her? No, like that, scream at her, belittle her, and make her feel like she's a nobody in this planet? Okay, I don't know how it went down. I have no clue. But I do know people in relationships often shout at each other. That, you know, that's just something that happens. If you don't, great, you have a good relationship, or you're very submissive, or she's very submissive one. I don't fucking know, but good for you. But most, yeah, they do belittle each other. And now he came back and he starts defending Goonergate, talking about Razor Fist. And people start looking into him and they're like, whoa, hold up. This is some wild stuff. And now they're talking about another really big streamer that chimes in with more info. Next, Kino Casino, I guess that's how you pronounce it, claimed it had a video of Razor Fist masturbating that he uploaded himself. Smash JT reacted to this, totally a normal thing for someone to do. Of course, that would tell people that Meddling Mac is correct about gooning for video games, would, of course, be someone that would do something like this. Is it just me, or is I'm a little confused at how that?
Yeah, I that's why I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to.
Okay, I think I got it. He's saying someone that would upload a video of themselves jerking off would be defending Goonergate, where basically girls in bikinis is porn to them in video games.
Oh, okay. That I understood.
And if it's that way for them in video games, I would imagine in person they would also think that.
Yeah.
So they're saying, yeah, that's normal behavior for someone who thinks that, I believe is what he's getting at there.
Okay.
Okay. So here, there's pictures to go along. Razor Fist, you still have time to remove your defamatory video, JT. Not soon enough to prevent me taking your entire career, mind you. That was set in motion when you decided to repeat easily disproven lies from a drama stream. But time to save your channel from a libel claim. So you remember what I said about him being a cocky asshole?
Yeah.
You can read that and know it, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Smash JT responded to this. This is what happens when YouTube bends the knee once, immediately opens the floodgates to everyone trying to take you down. And, I don't believe he's wrong on that. And then Razor Fist replied, every day you continue to have a career, JT, it was because I allowed it. This arrogant motherfucker. You had your chance to avoid disaster. You could have reached out, confirmed that you had reported lies. Now karma comes to collect. And if you thought Pro Jared had receipts, oh, sweetie, I'm sorry for what's about to happen to you. He sounds nuts. In response to an individual questioning Razor Fist's timing is sus, just saying. The timing is he ran his mouth. I think he meant his mouth. He should have kept his head down and scuttled off. My video has been uploaded in private since March. I was going to leave it all alone. He has absolutely no one to blame but himself, as per usual. And it continues. Smash JT responded, for me, it was a Tuesday. Razor Fist then shared a video addressing the various allegations and accusations made by Smash JT and Kino Casino to X. After years foregoing drama due to their lies and libel of others, it appears I'll be ending a few YouTube careers this week. He must think he's almighty. No one who doesn't deserve it. It's just a shame some people can't seem to hold a gun without putting it in their own mouths. Now back to the rants. So that's all I'm going to cover on that. That is some of the back and forth. I'm going to end your career, libel suit. Of course, if he does actually do a suit against Smash JT, that's going to look really bad on Smash.
Yeah, it will. It really will.
Yeah. To me, it sounds like he's going on like an ego trip kind of thing. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, this man is pure ego.
Yeah, he sounds insane. He really does. He sounds very much insane.
So Lilith, the primary one speaking in chat, or maybe the only one, but he basically saying he's on Friday Night Tights at times. So these are people with the million subscribers and that kind of thing. These are the upper echelon of streamers. So whereas Smash has 120 or so subs, but because of this, he thinks he can just end careers, you know.
Well, not to sound religious, but God has a way of putting people like that in their place. And that's just the truth.
I think his place, he might continue being successful even after nobody's paying attention to him on YouTube anymore. He will probably still write off that success and that money he made from it, but he will be a lonely loser. Okay, let's say he gets a woman, marries her, I don't know. With that kind of arrogance, they are going to be miserable. She is going to hate him and just be with him for his money. Look, if I ever get to acting like this motherfucker, let me know.
Oh, I will. You have no worries. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that whole situation is just crazy.
Fact is,
Well-
people like this always act tough. Then the day comes, they fuck around and find out how tough they really are.
She's not wrong.
I can see that happening too. He'll be all cocky and arrogant, going, "I got 1,000,000 subs, blah blah blah. I'm gonna ruin you."
Yeah.
That's it, motherfucker. You know, it set me off quick. I can tell you that.
Yeah, no more
like
talks,
in it.
interaction.
It's like in that movie House of a Thousand Corpses where the two people go in to rob
Okay.
the store.
I am not encouraging violence because you will go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying maybe it needs to happen, but I'm not gonna tell you that.
Oh no. But
I'm gonna tell you be peaceful and be a law-abiding citizen.
But in the movie House of a Thousand Corpses, the gas station gets robbed.
But I would be cheering you on.
The gas station gets robbed by these two people in clown and masks, and the clown says, "Why don't you take your mama home some fried chicken and I won't have to put my foot all up in your ass?"
You know, that clown reminds me of a nicer version of my uncles. My uncles are kind of like that way, except they're more rough and tough types and meaner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think everybody's still hungover from the weekend. That's what I think.
Yeah.
No, Mondays are slow. I mean, I didn't expect to get 2 viewers, and I got probably 2.
Yeah, 7 on Rumble right now.
Yeah, I think Rumble fakes their numbers a little bit. I really do.
Well, that's okay.
But on Thursdays, not every Thursday, some Thursdays just crap out. But on Thursdays, people generally come to hang out, and we just have a 4 or 5 hour hangout session. And
What
it's
do you-
usually funny as a motherfucker. The shit that is said, you know what I'm telling you.
Well,
Yeah.
you know why I think
Zombie
that
is
is.
still here.
Hey, Zombie 3D.
You know why I think that is? That Thursdays is like that? It's because everybody's tired of the usual streams, that go on and on and on about the same things.
Well, I will encourage every one of you motherfuckers to go out and touch grass. And if you, what I'm saying is go live your life, have fun, go drink, go fight, go fuck, go be lazy, go work hard, live, experience, get some sunlight, embrace life, grab it by the balls and ride its back. I don't fucking know. Just live, just have fun. Now, with having said that, of course, watch my shit.
How they gonna do that? How they gonna do both?
Well,
Phones?
you can drink and fuck while watching a stream.
Yeah, put on the TV.
projected on the roof,
Yeah.
Oh, good
on the
Lord.
ceiling, you know.
Lilith got a sunburn.
Okay. Phoenix is like that; he'll burn. But if I'm out in the sun, I get so dark, it's retarded.
Yeah, on a hot day, I'll burn like 30 minutes. I'll be completely red.
I'll get several shades darker. I'll look odd. I'll be so dark.
Yeah, I've never tanned a day in my life. So, yeah, this is as tan as I get.
Yeah, well, it's rare that I've ever gotten a sunburn. 99% of the time, I don't get sunburns.
Yeah.
The only time I have is when it was like over 120 degrees out.
Yeah.
My first job was a bricklayer's assistant. When I first started, I get sunburned every day, so I had to start buying sunscreen all the time.
Yeah, you do that too much, you'll get skin cancer.
Yeah, he actually told me to get like a straw hat, like with a long brim on it. That'll help against
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you get these old fuckers, you know, that were in World War II. They're made of some very solid stuff, and I'll tell you why. For one, they worked their ass off. And they worked and fought like real men. But besides that, they weren't exposed to as many plastics when they were young and growing up. Not so many hard chemicals. They grew up to be sturdier, stronger people, and that's why you get a lot of like World War II vets that old as everything and still out busting their ass working. And
Yeah.
that's why you get people from the later generations pure fucked by the time they're 30 or 40.
Yeah, the guy I worked with, I only worked with one other guy on that job, and he was like in his 90s, and he was still going strong.
Yeah, when I was a teenager and I couldn't find a job, this man had to be in his 90s. He's like, basically to save my dignity, to say I was working, he gave me work. This is nuts. Everybody's bugging shit at me to get a job. And I'm like, I'm fucking trying, right? And I just couldn't get one. So they're like, go work for him. He's offering. And I did, moving railroad ties and mowing his yard and shoveling horse manure and all kinds of stuff. Motherfucker paid me $0.25 an hour. $0.25 an hour.
I got paid more than that. I was getting paid $9 an hour.
I don't know, you know, if he was like going by 1800s pricing or what.
Yeah.
But I could tell people I'm working, right? And here in this part of the South, especially back then, if you weren't working, you were the lowest piece of shit that they ever laid eyes on. You weren't worth pissing on. So just to save my reputation, I worked for probably like a month or two for $0.25 an hour doing hard work. I mean, it wasn't the absolute hardest work, but it was hard work. Zombie says, I used to work for my grandma and she paid me $0.25 per job, regardless of how long it took. Taught me to work right the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You two motherfuckers quiet.
I know. When I first started working in factories, it took me forever to learn. They wanted you to slow down your work, so everybody else could just do their own thing. Because I learned quickly, they didn't pay you for the work; they paid you for your time. So you don't gotta work fast in the
Well,
factory anymore.
Yeah, when I worked in factories, when I was young, everybody's telling me, slow down. You don't have to work so fast. But I was like, I just felt a duty, a responsibility to do it right. You know, I want to do good, right? You know, I was just drawn to like, not perfectionist, but I just, you know, I grew up working, right? I mean, when I was 7, I was helping build houses, carrying bricks and hammering nails in. And, then you get a job and they're like, slow down. You don't have to. It's like, but this is the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
I was just, can't think of the right term, but anyway, I just felt like I had to do it like that.
Yeah. Then when you got a few minutes off of your job because you're doing it so fast, you go and help someone else, and they tell you to stop doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you got 4 or 5 different people telling you different things
Yeah.
all the time.
That's why you learn to hide when certain ones come around.
Yeah, it'd be like, this is your boss. And then throughout the day, you have like 6 fucking people. It's like, no, they told you wrong. I'm your boss.
Yeah. I have like one boss and someone over that boss and someone over that boss and someone over that boss.
No. Mm-mm.
Yes, I've done a lot of factory jobs. I've done roofing jobs. I've done bouncer jobs. I've done band manager jobs. I've done tech jobs. I've done a lot, right? And in most of those jobs, they told me that I was overdoing it. That I was like, whatever I was doing, I was overdoing it, and I could take it easy. And
Yeah.
I guess I grew up working, and it's the only way I knew how to do things.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have the same problem.
I will be.
There's a lot of motherfuckers now that don't grow up working. They're growing up spoiled. They
Yeah.
get everything they want, and they don't really have to do anything, and then they get a job.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, back when I was younger, 30 years ago, right? 30 years ago, if you weren't working when the boss came by, you were fired on the spot. If you weren't back when the bell went off from your lunch, you had to be there before the bell or
Yeah.
buzzer, depending on the place. And if you weren't at your workstation working, you were fired on the spot. If you were caught up on whatever your job is, you pick up a broom and start sweeping. If you were caught not doing something, you were fired instantly. Now that was like 30 years ago. From everything I hear, things have changed quite a bit. They go really easy on them now.
Yeah, they do go a lot easier on you now. Now, some people are still like that, but most of the bosses nowadays aren't so much like that, so you can get away with a lot more.
Here in the South, the mass majority of the jobs are factory jobs. Whether it be trailer plants, whether it be place that makes plastics and fiberglass,
Yeah,
or
furniture
place that
factory.
makes boats. Used to be more garment plants around, but they tend to move toward Mexico. But there's not many office jobs. There's a few, but not. I mean, really not many. Almost all of them are factory jobs, or
Yeah.
you pour concrete, or you're a roofer, or a manual labor. The mass majority of jobs here are manual labor.
It's either that or you work at a retail place like Piggly Wiggly or somewhere like that, Dollar General, which they only pay you like at most $10 an hour, which is not livable.
Well, when I was young, they all the places paid you minimum wage, which minimum wage has hardly changed since then. But even back then, it wasn't a livable wage.
Yeah. Just put into perspective for other people, in Alabama, minimum wage, if I'm right, is $7.25.
Yeah.
I was still thinking it was 4 something. When I first started working, I worked for $3.75 an hour.
Yeah. And back then that was if you got $4 an hour or $5 an hour, you were making good money back then. So
Yeah, I remember I had his job paid $5 an hour, but only if you worked all your hours, which was about 60 a week. 60 hours a week. You worked about 10 hour days, 6 days a week. Sometimes it'd go to as long as 14 hours a day. But if you got under that, they wouldn't pay you $5 an hour. They'd pay you like what was it? 425. Yeah, 425. I remember back then bringing home like a $300 check a week, and I was like, fuck, I'm making good money.
Yeah. But now
Oh.
the prices of everything's just skyrocketed. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the minimum wage in was that Oklahoma?
I think so.
Yeah.
Fuck. What is the word I'm thinking of?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, okay. Oklahoma. I kept thinking Oklahoma. I knew that wasn't right.
So what's the next topic?
How do you tell me?
I don't know. I don't have the
Do I
list.
gotta do everything around here? I gotta do
Yes.
everything?
Wrong way, asshole. The other way.
What?
The other way. You were pointing at the wall.
No, on my screen I was pointing at you.
It is the
No.
wall.
It was the wall.
Does this work?
There you go.
Cover all my bases. Does that work for you?
Are you finished?
Never.
I just thought I would ask.
Okay. Harvard professors are so frightened of the Trump crackdown that they're putting $2 million of their own money to stop him. This is not directly political, but based off of something, a political decision. But I still wouldn't straight call it politics, because we're not discussing the people doing the politics. We're discussing an after effect of it. So it says, remember last month when Trump White House came to bear on woke DEI obsessed Harvard University, telling them to get their house in order or lose a huge chunk of federal change. Trump just froze $2.2 billion in grants to woke Harvard. Get a load of university's response. Now, people talk about the tariffs. This is equally as much political as that, or how the tariffs affect the Nintendo, for example. I'm just pointing this out because so many people are like, political, ooh, political.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yeah.
it's all, if you're going to look at it like that, it's all political.
Yeah.
So here's pointing out one of the professors, Harvard's chief diversity and inclusive officer. Okay, it's not a professor, it's an officer. Faces 40 allegations of plagiarism, including her husband's work. So basically, they had DEI stuff cut from their budget, and the professors are coming together with $20 million of their own money to try to keep DEI in Harvard.
So,
and this is their chief of diversity and inclusion, their DEI chief. 40 allegations of plagiarism.
okay, so I can remember a time when going to Harvard meant you were the best of the best of the best, because they only let a certain amount of people in there to begin with. And she gets busted for plagiarizing a lot of stuff, including her husband's work. Well, so that means anybody can get in Harvard now. They're letting anybody in.
They're letting blacks and gays and illegals in probably. I mean, they're leaning hard on that whole diversity thing. So anything that fits under that umbrella that they like, they're going to pick that first and foremost.
Oh, okay.
Well, it used to be if you could afford it, they'd let you in. If you were rich, if your family was rich. But I don't believe that is any longer the case. Now I think it's a political show.
So these
I would
people,
okay. I would go so far as to say Harvard's always been lame and gay. They may have produced some of the top people, but they were very what's a good way to put it? The people that came out of there.
um, there is no good way to put it.
They were very biased in a bad way.
Yeah.
They were very elitist, very arrogant, and I don't believe that they always deserved what the titles they got from that place.
Yeah. So all
Zombie
these,
says Harvard. Zombie says Harvard only lets money in. So if they're letting someone in other than rich money payers or some company paid for you to be there, colleges are all about government money. Yeah. So yeah, they cut their DEI money, and they're so hard into DEI that the professors are paying the 20 million to make up for it. So yeah, they're picking those kind of people to let in now. It's not even about, oh, give me money, money, money. It's about, we're so hardcore into this inclusion stuff, we're gonna put money out to pick those kind of people.
so they put up $2 million of their own money.
Yep, 2 million.
That's insane. I
Take a
mean,
moment to grift. If you're not on my Rumble, call my Rumble. It's listed here. Then you can hit the $ for a super chat or the gift sign for a membership to help us, to support us. We need it. We're shadow banned. Fuck YouTube. Bring the noise pollution. We're here to tell you the truth, like it or not. If you don't, you're probably not watching. So what the fuck ever. Fuck you too, I guess. We need money. Grift. There you go.
Zombie
Hey.
asked you a question.
Yes. Is this over the students or the teachers' DEI? I would imagine it's more the teachers, because when their funds get cut, each of those professors are probably like, oh, I get a little bit of this because I incorporate this DEI thing, that DEI thing. I would imagine it's more about the professors, and especially if they're willing to put 2 million of their own money in. Now, that does not compensate for the 2.2 billion that was froze from getting to them, but they're so desperate that they're actually putting their own money in. Question is, is it for the professors or for the students? If they're putting their own money in, then it's not exactly coming back to them, is it? It may not be for the professors or the students. It may be for the message. I'm really not clear on who it's for. It may be for the message, for their political stance, their ideology. More than 80 Harvard faculty members pledged to donate 10% of their salaries for up to a year to support the university and its resistance against the Trump administration. So yeah, it's a ideological stance is why they're putting up their own money.
So Harvard is going to be like letting everybody in there to help pay to keep the doors open, basically. That's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, we don't know that, but it's a possibility. They'll be letting in people who fit their agenda. Ideally, the ones with money, but who knows? I mean, in the screwy world we live in now, you just can't tell.
Yeah. I mean, for example, if I wanted to, I could pretend to be all DEI and shit and go get me a Harvard education and come out and fuck shit up. What do you think?
I think you would have to be black. I mean, black, gay, and tranny. I think you would have to be the trifecta somehow. Or if you were like from Africa, that might help, with the trifecta. But I think you need three elements together, honestly. Or maybe if you're illegal in this country, maybe that would count to the trifecta.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't. This is speculation. I don't know this, but that's the way I would imagine it going.
You're probably right. But it would be funny. It would be so funny to get some fuckers in there that pretend to be DEI and get a Harvard education and come out and really fuck shit up for them. That would be funny.
I see these. This is off topic, but I see these streamers and they often have a gimmick or two to help their channel, and it helps, and I get it. You're trying to grow, you're trying to make a career of it, whether it be you have a little pet always with you on stream, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, or whether you be a black dude who's miming getting it up the ass. You know what I'm talking about? And I watch this stuff. I'm not saying anything bad. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I say that much. I wouldn't do it. I guess I have a gimmick. But I'm not popular either, but I don't guess I have a gimmick.
Yes, you do.
What?
My Little Pony, My Little Pony, and the snatch clip.
Well, that's hardly a gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. That's your thing. Those are your coins.
Yeah.
Yes,
I gotta
yes. That's I don't know. Let's take a moment to respect the bird that went away.
Yeah. I wonder if he got him another
Listen,
little bird.
I don't like to see any animal die unless it's, a vicious one killing something they don't need to be killing, or something along those lines, right? I don't like to see any animal die. And I'm sure he had quite a connection with it as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Oh, yes. He does have another that he's thought about bringing out on stream. Apparently, he has other birds as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Okay. Zombie says, Noise, your gimmick is you look like a rock star and play creepy clips that makes people return or run away.
It makes Dax leave every damn time. But now, for anybody that has pets like that, you can have a lot of them over time, but usually there's one or maybe two that you really, really connect with. And that's what I'm thinking went on with him and his little bird. That particular bird was his favorite.
Here's my little pet.
My little pony, baby pony. They're such cute ponies, everyone. My little pony, baby pony. Baby cotton candy. You is so much baby fun. Moon dancer. I love to feed you.
You like my pets?
No.
Just don't try and pet them, I mean, they're pets, but, not you don't pet them.
No. 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 I'm choosing to ignore it because I have to. If I don't, I'll go insane.
I should do the auction again. It's like, if you don't want to see these clips.
No, wait till Thursday.
Yeah. That's true. But it would be nice to make money on a slow Monday, but oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope he gets him another little bird. Maybe it'll be another parrot.
I'm a little scatterbrained today.
Oh, that's okay. But
All right, if you haven't hit that like button, hit it. Just take a second. Just hit it. Get it over with. And fuck, I hate bugging people that shit. Like and subscribe and follow and do this and do that. It's like, I fucking hate it, you know? But here I am. It's just the nature of the game.
yeah. But his little bird seemed like it was a nice little bird.
I literally like have like $2 on my account. Well, get them off your account. But anyway.
All of my animals are mean as shit. Every damn one of them are mean. I don't know what happened. They were just born that way. I don't understand it. Yeah, I'm not mean to them or nothing. They're just mean natured.
Well, oftentimes your pets will pick up your energy. And we definitely have some nervous energy. We have some angry energy. I'm not gonna deny that. I mean, I'm not saying like I abuse people. No, fuck no, I don't.
No.
But I have a very defensive energy.
I know Bridget over there loves everybody.
No, she don't. No. No, she don't. I seen it with my own eyes. She don't.
Yeah.
She tolerates.
As long as he sees I'm okay with him, she's okay with him.
Yeah. Well, Bridget's crazy anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm saying she tolerates certain people.
Yeah.
Others.
She does not understand personal space. She will try and jump up on anybody.
Well, gee, I wonder whose fault that was. Wasn't mine. No. She's your dog. You're the only one there.
Yeah, if I tell her to get down, she will get down, though. She might get back up there eventually, but she'll get down when I say it.
She don't stay down, though. She jumps right back on you.
Okay. It just feels like such a drag going through these articles, but yeah. I like the hangout streams better.
For
one, I don't have to do as much.
Are you stoned?
Me or him?
Noise. Are you stoned?
No, it's a very low energy day.
Yeah, I get it.
Some days you just don't want to fuck with shit.
True.
English FA will ban transgender women from women's football from next season. It follows a similar move by the Scottish FA this week after a UK Supreme Court ruling in April that a female is defined by biological sex.
Good.
In Scotland, only players who were female at birth will be allowed to play in women's football. You know, here they call it soccer. Over the age of 13. A statement from the English FA said on Thursday, as the governing body of the national sport, our role is to make football accessible to as many people as possible, operating within the law and international football policy. The Supreme Court ruling on the 16th of April means that we will be changing our policy. Transgender women will no longer be able to play in women's football in England, and this policy will be implemented from 1st of June 2025. Now, here in America, we're like, oh my God, this is big. But I guess over there, they actually follow the laws instead of trying to, sue the president or whatever.
Well, good for them.
Previously, the English body had said that its gender policies were being updated as a result of the court ruling, and transgender women could continue to compete as long as their testosterone was below a certain level. Cricket could also follow suit, with reports that the England and Wales Cricket Board (ECB) is meeting on Friday to discuss banning transgender women from competing at all. To me, I think this is great news. I don't honestly understand how it passed over there, because I know the special interest groups, the billions of dollars that's pushing for transgenderism and feminism. I don't honestly see how they let that one slip by. The judges who let that pass are probably going to be tar and feathered by the LGBTQ mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's wonderful. I wish that kind of thing would happen here.
Yeah. It'd be
I
nice.
really do, because
Yes, they are a mob now.
Because it's not fair. It's not fair at all. Because you get these trans boxers and stuff that just go in the ring and beat the crap out of the women and stuff.
You're making this stream weird with that fucking puppet over there.
Oh.
Isn't weird good?
All right. Is Aswell a he or a she?
It's
Or
a he.
Candy? What is he's pronouns?
It is a it.
There are actually some of those LGBT, mafia type group people that prefer to be called it. That's the thing, that they say it is their pronoun.
Yeah.
That's degrading as shit. They're just degrading themselves.
Yes, it is great news for once. That is in Europe. I can't imagine. I mean, here I can't imagine it getting passed. Even after Trump stopped a lot of it, they're still suing and fighting and doing everything to keep it going.
But I just wish
roadkill is so sweet. It's the only non-gender pronoun.
I just wish that kind of thing would happen here. Because this stuff is running rampant here. Just a minute. I'll be right back.
The fuck is that puppet doing?
That's a good question. I don't know what he's doing.
You better make him stop.
Is it picking its nose?
No, it's eating its hand.
Why?
I don't know. You gotta ask him.
I'm not asking that thing nothing, because it's not real.
Aswell, do you need hemorrhoid cream?
Yeah.
He
I
has
need
no.
something. Got a hand up my ass.
He has no ass.
Got a hand up my hole.
You are not helping matters.
No, you're not.
It's a real problem.
No, you're not.
Okay, look.
No.
Let's go on to the next issue.
Yeah.
Yes, I like to call them issues because I usually have an issue with them, and no doubt they have one with me. Doug Bowser confirms Nintendo will maintain their DEI policies despite Trump's wishes. American CEO Doug Bowser, what a fitting name. He's the president of Nintendo of America, confirmed that the company won't be moving away from its DEI policies. Nintendo is a company that has been promoting diversity, which is partially due to its very international character. I guess they're referring to Mario. And while we don't have all the details about the company's internal policies, the company can definitely be considered DEI friendly. I've actually heard gamers say that's what they like about DEI, about Nintendo, that they never gave into the DEI. And they haven't in a big way, they have in small ways. But he is confirming that they are very DEI friendly. Bowser was clear, saying that Nintendo has no intention of pulling the plug on its DEI policy. We always wanted to attract the best talent we can and retain that talent. We also believe that it's important to those talents to be diverse from the point of view of their backgrounds, their experiences, and their understanding, because our players are diverse. So we strive to have a diversity that reflects our players in our organization. This is something that has been in place for years before people really started using the acronym DEI, and it will continue to be in place. It's important to us. Now, it sounds like he's referring to their workforce. That's still not good. That's still bad. Because you need to hire who's best for the role, not what color they are or what they like to hump.
Yeah. That's my thought. I mean, the jobs should go to the people that are most qualified to get it, Not
I've noticed there is a donation, a $5 donation.
Oh, we
And
missed it.
we must thank Roadkill for his sacrifice donation. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little scatterbrained today, so if I was slow on this, I got to it.
Thank you for
And
your donation.
here you go for your donation.
Oh, sorry.
No. Roadkill 101. He's a really good guy. I've talked with him often. He's a great supporter, great conversationalist, and a very level-headed person. Yeah, there's a lot of people in this realm of anti-woke. Some of them are just barely containing their craziness.
Yeah.
They're still on our side, right? We're still cool, but some of them are barely containing their craziness. Roadkill seems very level-headed. So, yeah, he's really cool. Hey, you can say thank you or some shit.
Thank
I was
you.
going to say, and he got the goth girl clip. She's my favorite.
Well, yes, that's all I have on this article. You can speak on it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what happened to the time that a person got the job that was best for the job? I mean, what happened to that?
We have Triple J Jr.
Hi, Triple J.
Hey, Junior.
I mean, whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to you apply for the job and you got it because of your ability to do that job?
I'm wondering, how did the majority of the world end up giving in to the Rainbow Mafia to the point where they're imprisoning people for going against it, and it's become law and international law and so on? How did they infiltrate it so successfully that they became it?
I do
That
not know.
is a very good question. I want to know where this all started.
Roadkill 101 says, thanks for the shout out, brother. I dig you folks. We're in this game together.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering when this all started. I mean,
merit, fuck if I can say it right, meritocracy, that is a system based on merit, died. And yes, it did. We used to be in a meritocracy, but now it's all DEI. Now it's about, are you illegal in this country? Are you gay? Are you black? You know, and so on. Are
Yeah.
you in transition?
Well,
Trannies in disguise.
well, what's going to happen is nobody is going to work and strive to be the best that they can be at anything anymore. They're not going to do it because they don't have to. They're just going to, some of them are even going to pretend to be in the LGBTQ community to get
Like
ahead.
Lilith is saying here, it started 60 years ago and then it got progressively worse every 20 years. And here's the thing, there's a lot of people that say, oh, DEI is just since 2010 or so, right? No, it did start like 60 years ago. You can even watch some 1970s movies and you will see where they forcefully put some awkward, like, oh, this black person, this woman, and now they're the big shit. You'll see that even in 70s movies. It's been going on, yes, for that long. Yes, it has been.
Well, that makes sense.
So Triple J Jr. says can't watch because my internet is shit. I can relate because here there's a storm like every fucking week or every other week that knocks out my power and knocks out my internet and just fucks us off for a day or two.
Yeah, I know. It's awful. It really puts a damper on everything.
And then to top it off, my cell phone signal, which I try to use as a backup, is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
It's just endless buffering wheel on. Hey, buffer forum. Buffer forum.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Well.
Okay, since I imagine he can't hear us, so I'm gonna type something. I said, that's all right. I can relate. And she's buffering. LOL. A lot of people read that as LOL and they'll go lol. I guess I'm old school. I remember when, LOL started. And back then, everybody went LOL. If you went lol, they would think you're having a stroke or you're retarded. Lol.
Yeah.
So I say LOL, just like I say SNES and not SNES because that sounds like a slug just fell out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I say UBI soft and not Ubi because that sounds like 2-year-olds speak. They're going Ubi, Ubi.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm old school about most things. And yes, I'm picky about things. Really pisses me off when somebody says it's addictive. The word's always been addictive. Always. Suddenly people just went retarded and started saying things wrong.
Yeah. I don't know how that got started either.
It's like you can see them talking all fucked up and they got a buffering wheel right there on their head. So what are you buffering for? What are you buffering for?
Oh.
Yeah, you're definitely buffering.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of tired. I've had a trying day.
Lila says, I writes me stuff wrong on purpose is funny at me. Okay, I get that. But I've had many people tell me that they about had a stroke trying to read what you write.
That's the funny part.
That's the funny part.
And she writes it correctly. It is funny to me. See, so yeah, a lot of people might think that she's like, that dysfunctional, that off in the head, whatever, retarded or whatever term you want to use. But no, it's on purpose.
She's trying to be like a Jabberwocky. I'm sure Lilith knows what a Jabberwocky is. I used to know that poem about the Jabberwock, but it's been so long I forgot it.
Yeah. Remember there was like a movie, it was like the 80s or 90s called Jabberwocky. It was pretty good. It was a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a big advantage when people really think that, and sorry, I don't.
Jabberwock.
The Jabberwockies from that old story. What was that story?
Alice in Wonderland.
Was it from that? No, it came from a poem originally.
Yeah, it was, but
Yeah, originally it came from a poem.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
The Jabberwock, yeah.
I've heard it referred to as a Jabberwock and a Jabberwocky. Just I guess depends on where you're hearing it from.
Well, the legend says if you ever hear the thing, you're in some deep shit.
So you're telling me the Jabberwocky's a feminist?
The Jabberwocky doesn't have a gender.
Or does it have both genders?
Zombie says, I thought Jabberwocky was a Monty Python movie. I don't know. If it was probably based off of that, for one, originally poem, and then it was incorporated in Alice in Wonderland. It's become a somewhat of a common term, but a lot of people don't know its origins.
Yeah.
But yeah, look up the poem of the about the Jabberwocky.
Yeah,
very old. But I like it. Okay, Grift, hit that $sign for a super chat. Hit that gift for a membership. Support us maniacs.
Well, somebody needs. Wait, what?
We need food. They gotta support us.
And if you do that, I'm gonna try to be quicker on announcing it. I've been a little scatterbrained. It's kind of a slow day, so I was like, I got around to it like a few minutes later.
Hey, Noise, type in the name to look for the Jabberwock poem so Lilith can find it.
Why don't you type it in?
I can't.
Why not?
It won't let me.
Oh, fuck it. I'm trying to run a show here, you know.
I'll get it. Yeah. This is copy.
We'll get it for you, Lilith.
Okay. That's what it says on Google. Want me to do the whole poem? Want me to put the whole poem on there?
Nah.
No, she can find
anybody's
it.
curious can look that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another writing that I really liked was the Saga of Beowulf. That was a good one.
Yeah. Where he fought, was it a troll or what was it?
Beowulf?
Yeah.
Beowulf was a Viking warrior.
Yeah, but in the story he fought like a troll or something.
He killed a witch's son, and she went back and fucked his shit up, basically.
Yeah.
And he killed her too.
too.
Yeah, he killed, Grendel. You're muted. Oh, okay.
I know not everybody likes to read old stories or old poems or whatever, but you can find other references or remakes or books or movies or I already said books, but you get my point. But I tell you, I like Shakespeare, But I think Romeo and Juliet was total shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I liked that.
Okay, to be fair, there were some good lines in it, but it as a whole, some of the lines had weight, they had depth, but as a whole, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I like Midsummer Night's Dream was a very good one in my opinion.
That's my favorite, yeah. But again, as a whole, that's my favorite. There's lines from other ones like Macbeth that have
Tempest.
such gravitas, you know.
Yeah, and the Tempest was a good one.
and
The problem with most people is they can't get past the Middle English, and it's not Old English, it's Middle English.
yeah.
There is a difference there.
Mm-hmm. I can read both because when
So you're telling us you're bi?
oh, stop it. I can read both Middle English and Old English.
Not, I don't know where you're getting the 1997 from.
She corrected herself on the next
Jabberwocky's
one.
Jabberwocky's way older than that.
She
correct?
corrected herself on the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. 1890.
Yeah, I would consider that old.
Yeah.
But I can read Middle English and Old English because my senior literature teacher, she went to Ireland and Scotland and Wales and all around over there. And she learned to read it herself, and she taught it to us, and we had to memorize it for everything that was written, Shakespeare and the guy that wrote the Canterbury Tales and all of that kind of stuff. We had to memorize.
Doth thou how ye sees yonder morn be? Here's a funny thing about the ye was never actually pronounced ye. I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I learned of it, but it was actually not pronounced ye. Do you remember? Do you recall how that was done exactly?
I remember the Y sounded like an 8, didn't it? I could be wrong. I don't know.
I know the G's were J sounds in many cases, but the ye's were not actually pronounced that way.
It was like,
Well, according to Zomboid, anyway, say it like we.
Yeah.
What he's saying. That may be correct. Like I said, I learned of it a long time ago, and I've since forgotten. So it's probably right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they read this Old and Middle English, and they didn't learn this, and they pronounce a good bit of it entirely wrong.
Yeah.
So
the oldest book I have is from the 1920s, the Journey to the End of the Night.
But
It's
it is
pretty
a
good. I
reprint,
haven't finished it
obviously.
yet. It's kind of long and kind of dense, but I like it.
Oh, what are you telling us? It's long and dense, and you like it?
That's not what I mean.
I bet your asshole likes it too.
You have not read a very big book until you have had to read War and Peace. And let me tell you something. War and Peace is the driest book I believe I have ever read.
I've read the entire Bible before, at least a version of it. Didn't retain any of it. All I asked was, what do y'all think tomorrow will be, as in good, bad?
Yeah.
I think it will be both.
So
it'll be good
he's
and
saying this is what this was saying. Doth
Yeah.
thou how we sees yonder morn be? Yeah, I get it. I know a lot of people trip up on it hard. I can read most of it, not all of it. Some of it I still trip up on, but you know, I grasp a good bit of it. Oh, and yeah, tomorrow's gonna suck.
Yeah. I gotta go pay bills. It's gonna stink. It's gonna stink.
I always say celebrate anytime you can. So even in the bad times, try to celebrate.
Celebrate the differences.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
Celebrate good times.
banned.
All right. Whatever that song says.
You guys have big books, and I won't lie, I haven't read that many books by page. But when a skinny binding with big round page numbers, you get sprung. I get drunk, but yet you read it. Yeah, that's a reference to Sword Mix a Lot. I
Yeah.
like big butts, and I can't deny, or something like that. Can't lie.
Yeah, all the way back in Camelot's time, King Arthur and all that.
Bitty waist in my face, I get sprung, or something along those lines.
Yeah, the weirdest night among them all.
Hey, we have. It's like I'm when I read this, I'm expecting like royal horns and shit. We're in the fly.
Do-do-do, do-do-do.
He missed the puppet.
Well, you
Here
can
we
bring
got-
the puppet
look,
back.
Here we got Sir Fucks a Lot. Fucks books, I guess. But, and here we have the regal We're in the fly.
Oh my goodness. But let me think. Oh, if you have
You
not
mean let you buffer?
no. If you haven't read A Tale of Two Cities, Phoenix, I would suggest reading that book.
It
It's
was
a
the best
classic.
of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people were like, "What the fuck? How is it both?" No, it can be both. If you lived through the '80s, you will understand that better.
Well, see, that book was written by Charles Dickens, and the thing about that book was it told of two families in two separate socio-economical statuses. It told of the royals and it told of the regular people, and it also went into detail about when Marie Antoinette was beheaded along with all the other aristocrats, because basically they were people starving, and she told them, well, let them eat cake. It's not because she was being a smart ass. It was because she was dumb as shit, and she actually thought, well, if they don't have regular food, they must have cake. Let them eat that. And they cut off her head for it.
Along with a lot of other people's heads.
Okay. Tell me if I'm pointing the right way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It mirrored my camera, and I didn't fucking tell it to. So I'm like, pointing the wrong way for everything. Anyway.
She was French.
Yeah.
She was French.
Yeah, that was
Are
the
you referring
French
to the
Revolution.
Tale of Two Cities?
Mm-hmm.
I have not read that. There's probably movies of it. I don't think I've seen movies of it either.
Yeah, I haven't either.
You know what I would really like to do is go see a play of Macbeth, but they don't like to put on that play. They say it's cursed.
Oh, okay. She was Austrian but married a French emperor. Okay, well, I'm mistaken. I thought she was French. But she had pugs.
Well, she got a little French in her.
I know Napoleon's wife had pugs, and Napoleon had pugs. And when they were both exiled away from each other, they would put little notes in their collars and send them to each other with notes and stuff like that. I do know that. I also know that nobody knows exactly where pugs came from. It's a Chinese legend that said that the emperor went into a cave and found two pugs sitting in the middle of a bunch of giant eggs. So he thought they were baby dragons. So he took them and he treated them like royalty. Even had them a little cart made with a little sun visor over the top of it, and they had to be carried everywhere. They could not walk on the ground like everybody else. They had to be carried right along with the emperor. Yeah, it's true. And another thing about that is they destroyed all the scrolls and everything that outlined in detail how they were first created, the mix and stuff like that. So nobody knows.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up an article here.
Okay.
This one is leaning political, but like I said, if you're viewing everything through the lens of political, everything is political. Virtually everything. Homeland Security to pay illegal aliens who self-deport. Not satire, but there might be a method to the madness. So we'll pay. The Trump administration says it will pay immigrants living illegally in the United States $1,000 to leave the country, but it doesn't end there. It costs $17,000 to arrest and deport an illegal. So they're gonna pay them $4,500, and I think $1,000 once they leave. I think that's what it says. But there's a video clip on it. I'll let it speak for it.
Yeah, Dana, good morning to you. So Fox News can report exclusively that DHS will announce today that they're going to start paying for the commercial flights of illegal aliens who self-deport from the U.S. And on top of that, they're going to pay them an additional $1,000 stipend once they're confirmed to have left the country. Now, DHS says doing this is going to be significantly cheaper for the American taxpayer. They tell us that right now it costs on average about $17,000 to arrest, detain, and deport someone. They say paying for self-deportations and the stipend will only cost about $4,500 per person. That's about 70% cheaper. Aliens are going to have to register to self-deport on the new CBP Home app to access that DHS financial assistance, as well as announce their intent to leave the country. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem tells Fox in part, quote, "If you are here illegally, self-deportation is the best, safest, and most cost-effective way to leave the United States to avoid arrest." In the meantime, here in the sanctuary city of Los Angeles, ICE confirms to Fox News that 3 suspects arrested in connection with the home invasion murder of a man in the Woodland Hills neighborhood last Sunday are all in the U.S. illegally. ICE's acting director, Todd Lyons, tells Fox they are all Georgia nationals, 2 of whom were caught and released at the border after crossing illegally, and the third, who overstayed a tourist visa, and listen to this, had 2 previous arrests with ICE detainers on him ignored due to sanctuary policy.
Okay, I paused the video because it covered the part I was looking at, and that is they're going to pay them, what was it, $4,500 and then another 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I have a theory on all of this. And my theory is this: if they're telling these people they will pay them to get out of the country, and then those people do not accept that offer, if they do get arrested, it's going to be very, very, very bad for them.
I had a thought, that's like assuming they have phones to put this app on. But then I remembered Biden was giving free cell phones with free service to a lot of these illegals. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was all of them. I can't say, but I do know that was something that was happening. Now, let's say, he's paying them this much to self-deport, and that money would go far if they're going to, I don't know, Mexico. I mean, yeah, there's other places they come from, but if they don't, the consequences are going to be heavy. So they're probably going to be looking at that money going versus what they're going to do to them if they catch them, and it's going to spur a lot of them to actually leave.
Oh, Zombie said something.
Yeah. Zombie says no, they are paying the plane 3,500 flight and travel to flight, and then 1,000 once they're gone. So people only making 1K per person to deport.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that part was a little fuzzy for me, but yeah. So even 1,000, right? It's not gonna go very far here, and even wherever they're shipping them to, I imagine it wouldn't go that far. But if they look at the alternative, if they get busted instead, it might spur some of them. Probably
Mhm.
not the majority, but it will spur some of them to go.
Well, I mean, it's like this. If I was the president and I offered this deal to these people, and come to find out, some of them didn't take the deal, it's like, okay, I tried to be nice about this shit, and you're not letting me be
So
nice anymore.
the carrot and the stick.
You're not letting me be nice anymore. So now, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just my theory on it. Because, I mean, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, okay, we're going to give you this much money if you self-deport, and if you don't, you're going to suffer the consequences.
Okay, what's Phoenix got to say
Now,
now?
while I'm having a lot of fun on the stream, it is 10:21 and I gotta work tomorrow.
Hmm.
So
Okay, so you're saying you gotta go.
yeah.
You know what? You're not gonna give us your take on it?
Well, I think it's crazy. It's like they're trying to bribe them to go back to their country, but I don't know.
Well, yes, the carrot or the stick is like take the carrot, a little nibble from a carrot, and you can go where we're trying to lead you, or we're gonna get the stick, and you're definitely gonna go the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. You choose.
Oh, well, if you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye, Phoenix.
Bye. Wish I'd stay longer, but I gotta work in the morning.
Well, there's Thursday stream, right? But
Yeah.
you do work on some Fridays, but a lot of them you don't.
Tarts. Oh yeah. The tart is back there. What Zombie said. Yeah. Yeah.
I used to be somewhat into Doctor Who until it got super gay and woke.
They've killed Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They've just killed it.
I haven't even seen the last couple seasons.
Do you want to?
Nope.
Oh, you don't want to. You don't want to.
Yeah. Myself, I've never been a big fan of Doctor Who, but I thought it was okay. Never really got big into it though. Yeah. I better get going.
Bye. The doctor that I liked the most was the one that wore the trench coat. He was a little bit more he was more serious than the others, I thought.
Yeah. Zombie says he agrees with you that Trump's going to be hard on those that don't take the deal. So yeah, especially if you're offering them that kind of deal, which is next to nothing really. But when you have people in your country illegally breaking the law and you're offering them something other than getting busted, yeah.
Well, I mean, I
I
think
see why.
I think Trump's being awful nice about all this stuff. I mean, if you think about it,
he's being economical. He's being
Yeah.
economical. Suddenly couldn't say economical. I was like economical. Anyway,
you know, I mean, if you think about it, he's being very generous because they're here illegally in the first place.
now we're kind of hopping topics here, but yeah, you know, there were in the old Doctor Who, there were whole seasons, I believe, or at least episodes that was lost to time because they didn't make backups and it got, I believe, water damaged. So they drew some of those episodes and voiced them. I think that's how it went.
Yeah.
Just find that interesting. I mean, the old Doctor Who was a little nerdy, a little hokey, but I liked it up until it got to and the weirdness that it's in now.
They've just killed a beloved franchise.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite one was the David Tennant one, his run in it. But unfortunately, David Tennant turned out to be a real liberal douche.
Yeah.
Says he's seen a ton of those anime type recreations of Doctor Who and speech recordings. I've seen what I've seen. I don't recall it looking like an anime. I mean, I could be remembering wrong. I know there's a lot of young people who think anything animated is anime, and I'm like, no, the anime is a certain style, you know.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it through to their heads, you know. They thought anything animated was anime.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Anime is a style.
But okay, he's seen the recreations. There may have been some anime ones, but the ones I've seen wasn't. Anime is a Japanese animation. Yeah, it's a very distinct style. And yes, Weird of Bly is correct. It's a Marxist propaganda show now. I mean, after all, it is ran by the BBC, and they're pushing the message so hard, and anyone who even looks at them wrong gets arrested. I mean, it's literally, they can put something on Facebook that's vaguely not in line, and they will come to their house and drag them out and put them in jail.
Yeah.
For in some cases for years. Okay. He spelled the word wrong. It is Animotion or something. It's rotoscoped animation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, the old He-Man cartoons were rotoscoped.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I've seen the actor that played He-Man, and he looked like he had this porn stash. But he really was like that big. He really was.
I liked the rotoscope animations, like Fire and Ice, and
yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to think of. Fire and Ice. If you haven't seen the animated movie Fire and Ice, that's a masterpiece. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying it's the best movie or best story, but the art and technique they put into it deserves a spot way up there.
Mm-hmm. And Lord of the Rings and Wizards, and
a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings," and I'm like, "Whoa!" My reference is from the old animations and the original book, obviously. But yeah, the Lord of the Rings didn't have a Hobbit animated one too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the singing they had in it, they really put the work into it. And I appreciate I like that kind of stuff. And see, that wasn't anime, and because there are some fuckers out there who would be like, "Oh, it's an animated movie, it's anime." No, the fuck it's not. There's a certain style, you know.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the fuck out of the old Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit animated movies. I really enjoy them.
If I remember right, I could be mistaken, but wasn't some scenes in Fritz the Cat rotoscope too?
I don't believe so.
Might not have been.
Yeah, Fritz the Cat was the first like XXX rated animated movie. It's a cat, and it delves a little into the politics of the time. It delves into like more like street politics and sex.
Yeah.
And the character is a cat. There's a lot of the characters are cats, but some of them are different animals, if I recall correctly.
Crows and all that kind of stuff. And people wonder.
Hey, okay. Look up Fritz the Cat. Fritz. Fritz the Cat.
You
Watch
gotta
that movie.
You gotta watch it, Zombie. It's funny as shit. It's funny.
For me, it's a classic. I grew up on that kind of stuff.
And people wonder why kids from the 70s are so fucked up. Watch Fritz the Cat and you'll find out.
If you're on YouTube, hit that heart reaction button. Even though I'm shadow banned, I don't know what the fuck good it's gonna do, but smack that bitch anyway. Smack it like you're smacking the shit out of YouTube. I mean, like fuck Google, fuck YouTube. Smack the shit out of it.
Oh, Lilith snuck around and watched it. She wasn't supposed to. They thought she was asleep.
For me, I was a little kid, and when I was little, I lived in Michigan, in the north. But then I moved to the south. But my father would still take trips to Michigan, and then when he'd come back, he'd always come back with perverted shit because he had that kind of sense of humor. He thought it was funny as hell. So he came back with this VCR tape, VHS tape, however you refer to it, and it was a ripped version of Fritz the Cat, copied version. So, yeah, he just popped it in the VCR player and was like, here you go. And, I didn't have that much censorship growing up. For that matter, sometimes he'd have me kill animals, whether it be a cat killing his chickens or a dog that's sick and ready to die but not dying, or he'd give me a gun, tell me to shoot a bird out of the sky. Remember once he gave me a gun, I was a good shot. I usually get them sometimes first shot, usually by the third. So one time a bird come down, smack on the ground. It's making this muffled cries and chirps. And he's like, kill it. And I was like, I don't want to. Because it was making all kinds of noises, bird noises, sad, miserable ones. Like, kill it. And, he got real pissed at me. And then he stomped it because I wouldn't stomp it.
Yeah.
That was how I was raised.
Well, he did it because it was misery.
Listen,
in misery.
A lot of you people might go, abuse. No. Those are life lessons you need to learn. You need to learn to do the hard things when they're needed, or you're no kind of man. You're a little pussy bitch boy if you aren't able to do the needed things when they're needed to be done, even if they're hard things.
Well, I mean, I can remember having to do that kind of thing myself. I mean, it was just a part of life. If you see something suffering and you can't help it and you can't make it better, you put it out of its misery. That's just the way it was.
And we had chickens, and sometimes they'd get killed, and then he'd have me we didn't pluck them. Instead, he had me pull the skin off because it was quicker and easier. You didn't have to pluck it and burn it and all that. But you had to get up in there and its neck. You chop its head off first, right? You get up in there and you grab the muscles, grab the skin. It was not easy. You had to rip the skin off, and then we'd cook it up and eat it. But those are life skills, the life lessons. You need those things to be a man. Mm-hmm. And women did their part in it too.
Well, I could never pluck the chickens like that. Never. I never could skin the stuff we were eating like that.
It wasn't easy. Pulling the skin, no, that was very difficult. I remember I was 7 when I was doing that. I remember that.
But we would get some hot water and dunk the birds down into the hot water to get the feathers soft, because my grandmother, she would keep the feathers to make mattresses with and pillows and stuff. And we would keep the down feathers and stuff like that. And that's how we did it. Because
see, I had 6 siblings. And we all thought my father was the biggest asshole because of the stuff he had put us through. But when every one of us got older, we didn't think so anymore. We appreciated the fuck out of it because he taught us life lessons that to survive. He taught us to be strong. We didn't realize it at the time, and anybody else might be like, "That's abuse." No, the fuck it wasn't. I wouldn't be half the man I am if it wasn't for that.
Well, when you know, if I'm talking to Lilith, she's talking about the rabbit skins. You got to know how to skin the rabbit and deer and stuff like that, because if you nick their
Oh yeah,
gland, oh God, you've ruined it.
yeah. You have to avoid certain organs, or when you cut into them, it will stink so bad and it ruins the meat.
You can't eat it then because it ruins it.
Hey,
Fritz the
Fritz
cat.
the Cat is on YouTube. Oh fuck! I wonder if it's censored because when it came out, it was XXX, you know, which today's standards NC-17. Back
Yeah.
then it was X, XX, or XXX. I wonder if they. I'm betting they censored the fuck out of it.
You got to find the
I would,
uncensored version.
yeah, I would go look up a legit version.
Yeah. You got to find the uncensored version because you don't get the full brevity of it if you don't.
Make sure you get the uncensored version.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Fritz the cat. I had a cat named Fritz. That was a mean ass cat too. Was my mom's cat.
I had a
named
cat.
Fritz.
I had a cat and I named it Suicide. I was always infatuated by the word, right? What's funny is it lived up to it. I don't know if there's something wrong with the cat or what. I don't fucking know. It's a black cat, right? But had a fire out, you know, bonfire, if you will. And it just walked into it. Just walked into it and stayed in it and died. So it lived up to its name.
Jesus. Jesus Christ. Well,
I know that sounds unreal. That's what happened. I can't help it. That's what happened.
there must have been something wrong with him or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. You know, it might have had some brain problems. Who knows? You know.
I know that if they get a parasite in their brain, it can affect the way they act and all that kind of stuff, and they will do stuff like that. I had a pug puppy one time, and we had a bonfire, and a marshmallow had fell in the fire, and that puppy ran into the fire to get the marshmallow. She didn't get burned though. She had marshmallow all over her. Oh God, it took us days to get that all off of her. It was funny.
I'm just looking through the articles I have, trying to pick the least boring.
But yeah, those skills now are becoming a thing of the past. Now a lot of kids don't know how to do laundry or cook their food or anything like that. They just don't know.
Well, when I grew up, you know, we went from state to state a lot, from Florida to Michigan. That's a lot of territory to cover. That's,
Yeah.
I don't know, 3,000 miles. I don't know. It's a lot of territory. Lived in a lot of states. I had 6 siblings, so there was like 7 kids. All the males would have to bathe together, and all the females have to bathe together when they were young, not when they got older. You know, a lot of times we'd get that old big metal tub. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yep. Wash tub.
Yeah, big metal tub. We kind of lived like we were in the fucking 50s, but my parents grew up in the 50s, right? And I guess that mentality stuck with them.
Oh, Lilith, you wouldn't believe it. A lot of kids these days don't know how to use a washing machine. And they'd rather wear dirty clothes than wash them by hand.
Well, when you wash them by hand and you twist them and wring them out and all that, they don't get as clean. I've had to do that. I've had to do that many times. They don't get as clean.
I hate washing them by hand, but I can do it. What I hate is those washboards. Oh my God, you will skin your knuckles raw.
Well, I've never actually. Wait, no, I have, but I really didn't bother with it. Yeah, it will fuck your knuckles up. It'll also thin the threading of the clothes.
Mm-hmm. And those washing machines with the ringers on them.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is if you use the antique washing machine, they would have a wringer built in, 2 rollers, and a handle. Some of them were electric, some of them were by hand, and you wring the clothes through them. Problem is, if your clothes had buttons, it would crush the fuck out of them.
You wouldn't have no buttons no more or zippers. You'd have to sew that shit back on.
Grift.
But I hate washboards. I would rather beat the clothes on a rock than use a washboard.
Well, I'm going to go on to another article. Damn, I'm sure I'm staying dried out tonight.
It's the weather.
Okay, Thunderbolts flops leads to new Avengers title change. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the Thunderbolts movie that just came out. Well, apparently it's flopped so hard, it's their worst performing movie ever. Worse than the Marvels, which had a bunch of girls who were, the Marvels. Worse than that.
Well,
following Thunderbolts flopping over the weekend at the box office, in what looks like a desperate move from Kevin Feige. Anyway, Marvel is quick to change up the marketing and title of the film to New Avengers. So after the movie comes out, they're like, we're changing the name. I guess it flopped so hard, they're going back and changing the name and going, no, really, it's Avengers movie. No, it's Avengers. So yeah, if you see this poster, they slapped that over the New Avengers. Okay. This don't play for me. The Avengers, even though Marvel's ruined everything, they were iconic. They were the strongest characters in name and in their story. And they're trying to go, these are the New Avengers. I don't think so. So New Avengers actually comes in at the end of the movie. The Thunderbolts have just defeated the Void. Now they're after Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, what a name, who set them all up, tried to kill them, and who is responsible for creating the Sentry and the Void.
Okay, but I haven't seen the movie yet, but from the trailer, it looked pretty pretty good.
That's what I was thinking. From the trailer, I actually thought it could be good, but apparently it's a big flop. But I think some of that is people are just sick of Disney Marvel movies. In the aftermath of the Void battle on the streets of New York City, Valentina steps behind a curtain. The Thunderbolts follow, but Valentina surprises them as they step right into her publicity stunt announcing her new team of Avengers. The New Avengers, Yelena whispers in Valentina's ear that they own her, and Yelena smiles for the first time in the movie. Then the credits hit. We're not done yet, as while the credits roll, Marvel is well aware, and just like Valentina is ahead of the online backlash, fake news articles are showing about how people don't like the New Avengers. They're not my Avengers, that type of stuff. So that's kind of a play on Trump or Biden and, the opposing side going, it's not my president.
Yeah.
They both did it, right? I think they're protesting harder, against Trump. Honestly, I do. The post-credit scene reveals that Anthony Mackie, Blacked in America, Captain America has a team of his own New Avengers. So there's like, this is the New Avengers. No, this is the New Avengers. What happened to the original Avengers? Why can't they just get together and do the thing again? John Walker jokes that I think that's the new Captain America. Jokes says they got a lot of space as Valentina now owns Avengers Tower, which is their new base of operations. So this new Avengers now owns Avengers Tower. So they're trying to concrete them more into this really is the new Avengers. Okay, go ahead, speak on it.
I don't know. I just think that they need to back up and quit going overboard with all this shit because they're just making it worse.
Yeah, this is a remake of DC bad guys being used as good guys. The Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
The new Avengers basically seem like something thrown in at the last minute, and now Marvel's using it to promote the movie when it has really nothing to do with it. With Thunderbolts, maybe Mackie's team will fight against the Thunderbolts in Doomsday's Secret Wars. I think everything that Disney Marvel does now is going to flop harder than they expected. I think people have grown sick of it.
Yeah. I know I have. And if I have, everybody else has too. Because it's just like it's the same old stuff, same old political jargon and all this kind of stuff.
So, Lilith says, I saw Disparus review. Seems pretty lame. I think I know who she's referring to, and he does all right reviews. So, yeah, the commercial for it, it seemed like it could be a kind of a feel-good action movie. But, yeah, Disney, coming from Disney / Marvel, yeah, I'll believe it's a load of shit. I'll believe it's a big nothing.
I mean, I guess I'm just tired of the whole Disney Marvel thing. And that's all I can describe it as, is a thing. Because it's all the time. They're doing the same old stuff all the time. They don't listen to anybody. And they continue to put all this politically correct bullshit in it, and it's just not good. And the stories stink. They change the stories and they change the characters, and it's just not good at all. It's not.
So that's your review. Yeah, just speaking of that Disparu or whatever his name, I'm not clear on the name, but it's something along those lines. Yeah, he covers things in a comedic way, cuts it and puts it together. I think in a clever way. It plays out well. So I'm gonna cover something that that Hypnotic already covered, but I am, because it's about the Elder Scrolls Online, which I had covered when they brought out a trans, what do you call them, companion, a trans companion. I quit the game and I did it on stream. I'm like, watch, cancel my shit. Fuck that. So
I quit too.
That's why I'm paying particular attention to his coverage of it here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a ridiculous story coming out today from Elder Scrolls Online. If you guys are unaware, apparently there is a person that is going semi-viral-ish right now. Nothing too crazy, but I'm sure this story is going to go wild by the time people hear about it. But apparently on Elder Scrolls Online, they have just recently given a 72-hour ban to a player for teabagging. Yes, I'm not kidding. This game that is struggling to have players right now is deciding to ban some of their players for teabagging. And apparently this has been an issue for years in the Elder Scrolls Online community, because I have a thread from 4 years ago talking about damn near the same exact thing. But this person posted this screenshot of the ban message that he got, and I figured, hell, let's talk about it. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, I played Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out, and I thought it was a pretty fun game overall, but it just didn't have the, I guess, the longevity that a lot of certain MMOs have these days. And I decided to quit ages ago, so I haven't been back to Elder Scrolls Online in a long time. But I got to tell you, this game apparently is struggling to maintain players. I don't know how popular it is. I don't know if it's overall player base, but as the Steam forums seem to suggest, it seems to be a dead MMO. I have multiple forum posts from different people over at the Steam forum showcasing that this game is pretty much dead for the most part in the grand scheme of things compared to other MMOs. So I wonder why you would run around and be policing people so damn hard to the point where you're banning them for teabagging. But let's see what this guy has to say. So this account called Pain in the Axe, which is hilarious, by the way, says they got a 72-hour ban in the Elder Scrolls Online for bagging. And obviously it's called bagging, but they're referencing teabagging. Honestly, this is such a pathetic rule. This honestly feels like the result of a mass report, which it probably is, to be fair, because that's usually what happens with these things. These stupid rules that are so vague usually get abused by people that want to utilize these rules, knowing that they're vague and knowing they can weaponize it against people. So chances are it was, in fact, a mass report. But regardless of that, I only dish out reciprocal bags, which is hilarious, to those who did it first, or if I'm just memeing around with friends. On top of that, they're supposed to ask you to stop, and continuing from there would result in your account being action, which did not happen. We'll source dev post below. If and when I receive such a message, I always comply. Would have laughed, of course, but wouldn't have been a problem to do. Even equating teabagging to physical harassment is wild. Really great way to water down what real world physical harassment looks like, and is disingenuous. Yes, you guys heard that right. They are trying to equate online teabagging to real world physical harassment. That is the level of soft we have gotten to as a society, where they want to police the internet so bad and try to make it seem as if teabagging someone online is physically harassing them in real life. It is disgusting, to be honest with you, but this is where we're at, and it's not very shocking that this game is bleeding players. Then it says that more often than not, this rule gets used to weaponize the report system, exactly what I said, against others where the victim is actually the one instigating the behavior by doing the exact thing that they are reporting you for. Why do we have a rule to empower these bad actors? So if you look here, there's the report here. They have the reference number, the date that it was created, and then it says the Elder Scrolls Online team response on 5/02/2025. Here's what they said. Greetings. This account is receiving a 72-hour suspension and final warning due to violating the code of conduct. We cannot allow teabagging/physical harassment as is in direct violation of the following sections of our code of conduct. How is teabagging physical harassment? I really want them to explain this to me. I don't think they can. I think they just put everything together and hope that it sticks. But how the hell are you going to claim that teabagging is physical harassment? That is literally an impossibility. There is no physical anything happening at the point in time. If you want to call it digital harassment, fine, we can have that conversation, but you calling it physical harassment is just ruining the actual definition of physical harassment. And like this post said, you're watering down what actual real physical harassment is compared to what it's not. So anyway, this post was made, right? And it's funny because Pain in the Axe mentioned something that caught me curious. He said that on top of that, they're supposed to ask you to stop, and continuing from there will result in your action for your account. So then I thought about this. I'm saying, well, where did he get that from? Why would he think that? Why do you think that you have?
Okay, there's more, and I'll let it play in a minute. But okay, so you're dead on the ground in the game, and they're dipping their nuts on your head or whatever, and you're supposed to like type, please stop dipping your nuts on my head, and then if they don't stop, you can report them. Okay, this is nuts.
Literally nuts.
Yeah, this is nuts on nuts.
This is so stupid. Oh my God.
Yes, nuts on nuts, nuts on head, and nuts running the Elder Scrolls Online, because apparently it is physical harassment when they digitally dip their digital nuts on your digital head.
Can't you just move?
No, you're laying dead, right? They just, I take it it's been PvP and they just, killed you, and you're laying there waiting to respawn, and they go dip, whatever they do, right? I actually played the game for a while. got bored of it. It was fucking boring. I like the mechanics, the block, the run, the roll, all that. The using the staff and shooting. I like the mechanics, but the game was dull as shit. I never encountered teabagging myself. I have no doubt it happens, but I never personally encountered it. But whatever the case, somebody's like, they typed in, he teabagged me. It hurt. Did you ask him to stop teabagging you?
This is so stupid. I can't
72-hour suspension and final warning. Due to violating code of conduct, we cannot allow teabagging, physical harassment / physical harassment. Oh, what did he do? Step away from his computer or console or whatever with a fresh feeling of nuts on his head,
This is so stupid. I can't even say anything.
Yes, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Oh my god.
Okay, I shall continue this, but you got the gist of it.
Have to ask to stop before anything could happen. Well, I looked it up, and this is a thread from August of 2022. So this is a while ago, okay? This is about 3 years ago. And it says, what are the rules regarding teabagging? I think the last update was about teabagging, and spamming emotes is fine. Though if you ask someone to please stop, you should stop. Also, does the teabag E have to report this? Or can anyone report it? If me and my friends are fine with teabagging each other, can someone else take a screenshot of it and report it? So this is a question that was asked in 2022. So it's very clear that this has been a problem in Elder Scrolls Online for at least 3 years minimum, but I'm sure it's been more than that. This game, apparently, they have a big issue with teabagging. They have a big rule against it. But the official rule is exactly as this person stated, ELO 106, which is the person who is reporting is allowed to ask the person who is teabagging to stop. And the person who is teabagging cannot be reported unless they continue to teabag after being told to stop. That is apparently where you are allowed to report them for physical harassment. That's the distinction that Elder Scrolls Online has decided to go with in terms of reporting someone for harassment. So you cannot get reported if you're just friends messing around, teabagging each other, whatever the case may be. But if you go teabag someone else and that person tells you to stop and you don't stop, then they can report you and get your account banned. That's how ridiculous this is. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, over on the Steam forums, which I have a couple of Steam forums here, there are people saying that this game is dead, right? And granted, could be trolls, right? It could absolutely be trolls. But there's a lot of threads saying the exact same thing, that the game is dead, or they're looking for people to play with, or they can't.
After they introduced the tranny companion, it needs to die. It does. That was what I say, a bridge too far. What's the correct terminology there?
I don't know, but you're right. It needs to
Step
die.
over the line, Yeah, it needs to limp away and take his last breath.
And find anyone to play with. This person says dead MMO. I've legitimately never played an MMO more dead than Elder Scrolls Online. Queue times are beyond outrageous, even for healers and tanks, and the entire game is so illy constructed, not to mention how heavily monetized it has become. This person says, yeah, you're only about 10 years too late, which again, the game is very old, not as old as some other games like World of Warcraft, for example, or even EverQuest or Final Fantasy 11 or any of those, obviously, much more famous video games in the MMO sphere. But still, Elder Scrolls Online is old enough to the point where they should be worrying about maintaining players and not worrying about banning people for some of the most stupid things that I've ever heard and claiming physical harassment. This person says dead game, no players online, game is dead. This is like the 20th post saying the game is dead in the last 1 month alone. And again, people are clearly not having enough, people to play with. Looking for more people to play with. I'm looking for a small group of friends to play with. I'm not new to the game, just the PC version. Please message me if interested. Oh, we beat EP, and if you play a high elf, don't bother. So again, people clearly are struggling to find.
Okay. Yeah, never teabag a troll. Once people realize that they can get people banned or short-term banned for silly reasons like this, they're not feeling harassed. They're being trolls. And trolls are attracted to games like this, especially the PvPers. They love to try to hurt your feelings with virtual little, play dolls, essentially, in words. So, this is going to get abused so heavily. It reminds me of, I played this game a long time ago, Conquer, and it was all about PvP. It kind of ruined me on PvP. I was good at it, but I don't like the I just don't like it anymore. But I was botting and I was, using aimbot and had a bot to level my character automatically. So somebody caught me doing it and they reported me. Oh yeah, in this case it was a speed hack. So I got put in. They had this bot jail, and I got put in this bot jail, and so I emailed the fucking devs and shit, and I was like, no, I wasn't hacking. I wasn't speed botting. It was them. They have a program to make it look like I was. So instantly, I was taken out of bot jail, and they were put in. My point is, people are going to abuse the fuck out of this.
Yeah, they will.
Trolls don't like my nuts.
That is so stupid. It makes me not want to play any MMOs. But there are a couple of games that I'm interested in looking at, and that's Soul Frame and
Okay, here's the thing. I'm in the alpha Soul Frame. You have to get an invite to it, and I love the hell out of it. But with that said, it's by the makers of Warframe, and they will put it's LGBTQ month. Get your rainbow shit here. They will do that, and that's very unfortunate because I really like the game.
oh. Well, another game that I was curious about is the Expedition 33.
Yeah, I obtained that game.
We won't
And
say how.
I've played a little, not a whole lot. But so far, I really like it. It's a good game. It really is. And that's rare for today.
Well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of turn-based games, but with that game, I might overlook that and try it anyway.
Well, okay, Baldur's Gate 3 is turn-based, but its turn-based action is confusing as fuck at times. Like, you can only walk this far and your steps are up. Now, it's their turn, but you can only do this, and you got a point for it's a little convoluted. That's because it's based on a certain set of D&D rules. Whereas Expedition 33 is more straightforward, more cut and dry. Like, although it incorporates action into the turn base, like hit this button now to make your shit more powerful, hit this to dodge and this to parry, and that's real time. So I guess it simplifies it and it gives you a little bit of everything, like these people want this and these people want that. Let's put it all in.
But I am curious about Expedition 33. Does it have a good story to it, or
It's confusing as fuck, honestly, but people turn 33 and then they gotta go get turned into flower petals. I don't know. Some people are getting sent off on expedition. I'm not clear. To be honest, I'm not clear on the story, but that's what I've gotten from it so far. It's basically full-on fantasy, not based in anything that we know. The only really similarity is they're humans, or at least human-like. Fuck, I don't know. But it plays well so far.
well, from what I've seen, I mean, I saw you play it, and the art style kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah, okay. They say it's a JRPG, like Final Fantasy, but it's American made. I think it's American made. Well, whatever the case, it's not Japanese made. So it's not going to have some of those Japanese ways that they put in all their JRPGs. So yeah, it's stylized after games like that. But it's not one of those, but it is at the same time, it has elements.
Well, it sounds,
I think that actually is an improvement. In my own opinion, I think that's an improvement.
Well, I mean, I think, because, I mean, I'm picky about the games I play. If I play a game and I hate the mechanics, I'm not going to play it. You know, like if the mechanics of it is so damn confusing, it takes me a minute to figure out what to do, and I get killed in the process. I'm not gonna mess with it.
To me, that sounds like life. Is like, I don't like the mechanics of this game. I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
That's what, that's essentially gamers. Think about it. Life is a bitch. Sometimes you want to escape from it. Sometimes you want something to settle your mind, Sometimes it's just fun. You're like, I don't like the mechanics of this game of life. So in this life, I'm going to do this instead.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It could be gaming, could be something else, but we are a story within a story within a story if you really break it down.
That is very true.
So we're in a blind. Yeah, I've streams of people playing it. It looks good. It's a little oddly worded, but we get what he's saying. Sometimes I word shit oddly too. I stumble up on a lot of words. You make fucks at me?
Oh no, don't copy the Brazilians.
No, that's a Lilith's thing.
Oh, well, when you said that, I thought of Conquer.
So
They
yeah,
would say stuff
there's
like
this,
that.
There's this missing word.
They would say stuff like that all the time.
Okay, actually, I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am actually very good with words. I am just not very good communicating in front of a camera. I suck at this. I suck at this. But I am actually really fucking good at words, believe it or not.
Yeah, he is.
Not names. All these foreign names trip me up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, the foreign names are hard.
Hey, you make fucks at me?
I know what that means.
Okay. While we're here. What?
I thought I heard the puppies, but no. You make fun of me. Oh, Lilith, you're a hoot.
All right, while we're here, grab another article. Yes, I'm being sloppy with this stream. Slow. Like I said, got a lot going on in life, and I'm a little scatterbrained, and it's a slow Monday. But I'm here. We're doing this. CBS quietly settles anti-white discrimination DEI lawsuit, raising industry eyebrows. Filed in February 2024, Binnicker's lawsuit claimed he was passed over for a full-time position on SEAL team simply because he's a white male. District Judge Ann Huang officially dismissed the case with prejudice. Legal speak for don't even think about filing this again. So it's like, get the fuck out of my courtroom. I don't even want to hear about white male. Fuck off. Basically what it was. Yeah. Okay, Miss Wang. Whatever, right? Okay, so what happened was, I guess they kept trying it, and the CBS settled, and that's the first. So he didn't win, but he got a payout from them. And this marks the first time a major studio has opened its wallet to settle with someone claiming they were unfairly rejected for not fitting the right demographic profile. By settling, and by public opinion, kind of makes them look guilty. We all know they're guilty. Of course we know. But normally they fight it, they win. But this time they decided to settle and give a payout. And this is the first. So you could, in a small way, consider this a win.
Yeah.
The Trump administration has been turning up the heat on media companies it perceives as biased. The FCC, now led by Trump. The network also dealing with a $20 billion lawsuit from President Trump himself over a 60-minute interview. So the president is suing CBS for $20 billion with a B dollars because they did him wrong in a 60-minute interview. 60 minutes, the TV show. So that's probably why they decided to settle, because they had a feeling that if they ever got the right judge that would take it, they would not win because of the Trump administration.
Yeah.
This settlement could open the floodgates for similar lawsuits from other professionals who believe they've been unfairly passed over due to DEI policies. A clear legal defeat would have sent a stronger message to the industry and might even force a more meaningful reevaluation of DEI policies across Hollywood. So yeah, a win, which he didn't win, it was a settlement. But if he had won, it really would have shifted things. But this alone could make a difference. It's showing that they're afraid.
Yeah, I think that makes a big difference, because with Trump suing these people, they're finally understanding that people are not going to take that crap anymore. And now they're scared. Hit them where it hurts, in their pocketbook. They'll pay attention then. They won't pay attention anywhere else. But if you hit them where their money is, they're going to pay attention.
Well, even though this isn't a win, I'm still glad to see it. It's still a good thing. And yes, it is funny. You make fucks at me. It is funny.
It's funny as shit. Oh. But I don't know. I keep seeing these little glimmers of hope at the end of the tunnel about this DEI stuff. And it makes me happy, because I know if it keeps going like this, the little stuff's going to be something bigger and better for us. So it's a good thing.
Now, we were speaking on Expedition 33, and here is an article on it. Claire Obscure, I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce that way. I don't believe obscure is spelled that way, is it?
No, it's got an E on the end.
Claire Obscure, what a name. Expedition 33 becomes Metacritic's highest rated game of all time. As of this writing, Expedition 33 stands at a mind-boggling 9.8 Metacritic user score on PC with 1.9K reviews, and an equally astonishing 9.7 on both PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, all the Xbox Series, with 7.7K and 630 plus reviews. So, whether you consider the console or the PC, it has an incredibly high rating, a higher rating than anything previously, including Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which I love the hell out of that game. I played the fuck out of that. Baldur's Gate 3, I put a good many hours into that. I really like that. The turn-based could be better. The Last of Us, I actually have not played that. Half-Life 2, and Heroes of Might and Magic 3. So it surpassed all of those high scoring numbers. It's the highest scored on Metacritic of all time.
Excuse me a minute. I have to go check on something real quick.
Over the weekend, the greatest JRP also shattered its own record for concurrent Steam players, reaching an all-time peak of 145,000 users. And this is 145,000 playing at the same time. And yes, Sturgeon 510, Ocarina of Time, if I'm even pronouncing that right, is the greatest of all time. I mean, I love the hell of that game. That's one of my all-time favorite you know, ever. I really love the hell out of that game. But as far as new games go, I'll check it out. I'll play like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, nah, I don't care for it. Not for me. But Expedition 33, I could take to it. I like it. And that that alone marks it as a great game so far. So far. So it's what I've been playing lately. Soul Frame, which is alpha, and you have to get an invite. Expedition 33, Cyberpunk. There's another one I can't recall right now. I don't have a lot of time to game, but I an hour, sometimes 2 hours a day. And welcome Sturgeon 510. Of course, you're always welcome here. Thursdays we usually have a hangout stream, and it's just fun as a motherfucker. It's funny. It's funny and fun. Mondays are slower. Mondays I cover news, random news, old news, just news. Well, if it's old news, is it new? Whatever the case. We have Lilith there. I play all day already. I know Lilith is definitely a gamer. What is it? Age of Wonders? Is that what you play a lot? Am I mistaken? Yes. Age of Wonders 4. One thing I played a long time ago, Age of Mythology. I played the hell out of that. Of course, Age of Empires 2, I think it was 1 and 2, but mostly 2. I was hooked on that like everything. I mean, I was incredibly good at it too. My controller broke, else I would play Rise of Ronin. I'm familiar with the title, but I don't recall what game that is exactly. And the buffer is back.
Oh, stop it. Leave me alone, you son of a bitch. I'm back. I had to do
You
something.
left me hanging here. I was like, the fuck? Just silence.
I'm
like a dumbass.
sorry. it was an emergency. I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, StarCraft and Warhammer was nice too, but real-time strategies I can't do no more. Okay, why is that? Why can't you do real-time strategies anymore? I used to be hooked on a few RTSs. Like I was just mentioning, Age of Empires 2, 1 and 2, mostly 2. Seventh Kingdom, I think it was called. This one that was older than Age of Empires. That one I played the fuck out of quite a bit. I got too slow.
I will never.
People beat my ass. My brain is mush. Okay. I get that. I mean, sometimes I'm sure I'm not as quick as I was when I was young.
I will never play another real-time strategy with you, noise.
Now that you're back, you must welcome the fish.
Hi, Sturgeon.
It's smelling fishy in here.
I will never play another real-time strategy with you, noise. Never. Because you cheat.
I do not cheat. I absolutely do not. When I'm playing solo, I do.
Okay. Tell me this. Tell me, in what middle age time frame do they have cars?
You're speaking of that one time, and it was just because I didn't really want to fuck with it, and I was just like, vroom.
You had cars.
No, but all the other times I didn't put the cheats in.
That's
You know,
true.
I was really fucking great at that game.
I remember one time you and somebody else was playing, and you played for like a day or more.
Well, yeah, it was way back when you played on dial up, and you know, 1 versus 1. It might have been a bunch versus a bunch at first. I don't remember. It was decades ago. But one player survived, and we would wipe each other's kingdoms out, except we would be hidden away rebuilding. And we played for more than 24 fucking hours straight. The sun would go up and down, up and down. It's like, and I won finally after like, but between I don't know, between the sun going up and down a couple times. And yes, I stayed on because I was younger, right? And I was like, I must win. I must win no matter what. But this motherfucker wouldn't give up, and I wouldn't give up. And it was probably a 24-hour long match, and I came out the victor.
All I know is I have my little.
Hey, Lilith, you leveled up to level 10. I don't know what that
Yay!
means, but you did.
All I know is I have my little people, and they was gathering their materials, and I was building my kingdom, and then all of a sudden I was surrounded,
Yes.
and you killed all my people.
Yes, land sessions. People would bring their whole rig to places and connect it to a land local area network, and then game together or against each other. Yeah, I remember those days.
You killed my people, Noise.
A lot of those matches, I was just toying with you. I didn't want it to end too quick, so I would toy with you forever and leave
You
one of your
killed
people
my
alive.
people, Noise.
I would leave one of your people alive just to give you a chance to rebuild.
How fucking fast do you think I could rebuild the kingdom with one person?
That's the way I did it. That's the way I always won.
No, that's bullshit. I still think you cheated. You had to have cheated.
No, I didn't. It will pop shit up on screen to tell you when there's a cheat, I believe so.
Well, then answer me how. How? We had the same amount of time, and I didn't even get all my kingdom built yet, and you built all yours up and had all kind of stuff, and you came and you killed all my people. Every one of them.
For one, when you play the game enough, you learn the shortcuts, the shortcut keys. For one, you also learn do this first, do this last, produce this many of this kind of people, put them over here, hide some workers here, there, and everywhere. Strategy.
I had strategy, and you wrecked it. All of it. I had nothing. Nothing. And it's your fault.
Also, it's a matter of what you upgrade. If you remember, you can upgrade different things. It's a matter of what you upgrade first, that kind of thing. Yes, always expand even while you're in a fight.
Maybe that's what I didn't do. Oh, yeah, no, I know I didn't do it because I was so focused on trying to stay alive. I forgot. I forgot to build my houses and stuff back. But after that, I will say this. After that, I got smart. Every node that I would find, I would build a bunch of towers around it so the enemies can't get in it and kill my people. But Noise, you were really good at games. I mean, really good. I know in Conquer, you would take my character a lot of times and go PvP everybody with it.
When I was a little kid, like 6 or 7 or younger, I remember I would be at an arcade and I'd be playing, and I didn't know that I was good. I didn't know I was just playing a fucking game, right? But then I would look back and there'd be like 20 people gathered watching me. Now, okay, I'm not good anymore. I'm talking decades ago. I just dabble in games now, but once upon a time I played the fuck out of them and I was really good at them.
I remember I don't remember. Every time I play a game, an MMO or something, I'm the one that's going to be hanging off of a ledge about to fall. I don't know why that is, but it happens every damn time. I have to do something or I'm going to die.
I never liked the Souls-like games. I never I liked the graphics of Elden Ring. The graphics were great. I just never liked that they're always trying to fuck you. Like, do this, you're fucked. Okay, I'm gonna do this. No, you're fucked. No, well, I'm gonna do this, you're fucked. It's like a gotcha, like they're going out of their way to fuck you over as hard as they can. That's just my take on it. I never liked the Souls-like games.
But
While we're here, so there's not awkward silences, I have another article or an issue. I have an issue. Oh, wrong fucking one. Here we go. Rumor. This is a few days old, but here we go. Rumor: James Gunn Superman sees character frustrated by social media harassment campaign. A new rumor alleges that James Gunn's upcoming Superman film sees the character become the target of social media harassment. Yes, really. They're going to make part of the story about online trolls that's bugging Superman. In the movie, Superman is frustrated by social media backlash with the hashtag #supershit. Being mentioned several times, yes, super shit. Being mentioned several times as really getting under his skin. He's Superman. He's like, they're saying mean things about me. Meanwhile, in Lex interdimensional world, hundreds of mutant monkeys are shown typing furiously at keyboards, flooding social media with hate against Superman. Do you see what they're doing here?
yeah, we're the monkeys, I guess.
They're trying to say that people like me that with channels like this are just mutant monkeys typing away and really pissing off Superman. They're saying we're just monkeys in a basement or something.
Yeah.
Yes, it is fucking ridiculous. Super shits. Mutant monkeys typing.
Oh my God.
This is not for sure, but this is a rumor or a leak or some such. But
Yeah.
usually these are correct. Snowflake Man, yes, James Gunn. He's a real motherfucker. Okay. This is fucking ridiculous.
This is
Nerdrotic channel claims the rumor is true. He posted to X, "Oh no, the super shit rumors and James Gunn Superman are true." Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I'm sure all of you know who Nerdrotic is. He's one of the biggest streamers out there. Or, he's up there anyway. He's way up there. And he gets a lot of information for other people get it. And he's saying it's true. Sounds like how a mutant monkey would troll online.
Super shit. These people, I swear, I don't know what to make of them.
Yes. I mean, he's directing that at YouTubers who criticize his work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is going to make it into the movie or not, but I have no doubt that it's true. He's probably written it, filmed it. It's just a question of will it make the cut.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just, this is so outlandish. But the most outlandish thing about all of this is that it's true.
Wait, imagine being Superman or having the power of Superman. You're virtually invulnerable. You could fuck over the world if you so wished. And you're gonna be like, they're saying mean things about me online. Really?
If I got my feelings hurt every time somebody said something mean to me online, I'd be crying all the damn time.
They throw poo at the zoo when they're online. This is so fucking ridiculous, I'm telling you.
This is stupid.
Okay. I'm sure you've seen the picture of him when he's, Clark Kent, right? And he's got that poofy Gen Z hair. He looks like a fucked up poodle.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess I'm one of those mutant monkeys. anyway. I think they're trying to appeal to the younger generation and it's ruining the shit out of it. What is Superman gonna have a fucking selfie stick and he's gonna be recording live while he's flying? He's
Probably.
like, fuck you monkeys. I know where you live. It's fucking retarded, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is. It's really stupid.
But James Gunn is known for self-inserts, which I know how wrong that sounds, but he put his dog in there as Superman's dog. He put himself in the what was that cartoon?
It had the Monster Squad.
No, that's not what it's called, but that cartoon he made was essentially a Monster Squad. He wrote himself into it. And he's taking jabs at certain types of people.
Yeah. Where it says Superman.
Looks like a twink.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's where it says he looks like a twink. He kind of does.
Can you monkeys do this? In a way, he fits the Superman role in part, but he doesn't. I just don't think it works. It's not good enough, in my opinion. The costume doesn't help how thick and rubbery it is.
Yeah.
But this movie could be a big hit. It could be. But I don't know. I'm not really getting it, I'm not really seeing it.
No, I don't either. But hey, we could both be wrong.
Nah, I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong. If you're always right, you might think you're going through life like la 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 la. No, you're fucked. You're fucked. They hate you when you're clever. Okay, literally, I'm not always right, but a lot of times I am.
Yeah.
That don't make things easier on you. It makes life a bitch when you're wise to things.
Yeah. That is
But
true.
yeah, I'm not wise to everything. We all play the fool now and then, all of us. Miss Buffer.
I'm sorry.
You gotta do a freeze frame.
I was checking on the puppies.
Buffering. It's
Stop.
like that old joke. It's a man, he's in bed with his wife, they're going at it, and he just stops and pauses and he goes, I learned this from the internet. It's called buffering.
Oh God. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway. I don't know.
I've got one that I need to cover because I put it on my fucking thumbnail, right? So I need to cover it. But what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I don't know what in the hell is wrong with all these people, other than they might have mind worms or something.
Well, we're seeing. Well, it's like seeing a turn of a century, although it's not exactly a turn of a century. It's like 25 years off, right? But essentially, what we're seeing is something like the turn of a century, where the people are taking a hard shift, and we're looking at it from old eyes, from the 1900s, and we're going, "What the fuck, gay clown show is this bullshit?"
Yeah.
Right? And they're going, "No, this is cool. This is what we like," and it's like, you what?
Yeah. True.
It's like this.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
It's like that.
Yeah.
That's us. That's where we're at. And they're going, "Hey, chill," and we're going, "What the hell is even that?" That's
Yeah.
where we're at. That's where we're at in media, in life. We're seeing the turn of things, and we're going, "What the hell is even that?" And they're going, "It's normal. You just need to shut the fuck up and settle down."
Yeah.
No. Fuck no. Can't make me.
So
Okay, anyway. So moving on. Trump making Hollywood great again. Tariffs on movies filmed outside U.S. Which, here's the thing, I would go so far as to say most of them are filmed outside the U.S. because they have to pay less to film outside of the U.S.
yeah.
Hollywood is currently in a tizzy over President Donald Trump announcing plans to impose 100% tariffs on movies produced outside the U.S. That's doubling the cost. If enacted, that would include major films currently in production, such as Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, which there's another article, I don't have it, but they have actually paused filming on Doomsday and Secret Wars, or whichever one they're currently filming. They paused it because of this. Which Disney is filming in the UK. James Gunn's Supergirl also shooting in the UK. Voltron was filmed in Australia. And James Cameron shot the Avatar movies in New Zealand. Trump's tariffs could also impact television, as many shows are produced outside the U.S. Ironically, The Boys is filmed in Toronto, Canada, as is Reacher. I've watched Reacher. It's kind of dull. Rings of Power also filmed in New Zealand, and HBO's The Last of Us also filmed in Canada. So yeah, I would imagine the majority of them are filmed outside of America, and them pausing the Marvel movie they're doing, that really speaks, to
Yeah,
the
it does.
So this is what he said on it. The movie industry in America is dying very fast deaths. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. So he's trying to, bring it back to America. I say that's great,
Yeah.
Film in America. Why not? Or because of its expensive, obviously. But I think most of these studios can afford it.
Oh yeah.
Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. I don't know about all of that. I think it's just about the money. But I can see he's playing an angle. In addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. I think what he's doing is great if it will work. But him calling a national security threat, that's more than a stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he just, what it is, he found an angle where he can enact it. It's probably the only way he could enact this, maybe legally.
Well,
or in a very binding way.
I get what he's saying because
Well, the fish. Sturgeon 510. I would think the tariff would only affect movies that start filming after the tariff. Yeah, probably so.
Well, what I was going to say is the movie industry is $1 billion industry, and that could be a lot of jobs for people.
Oh, I would say it's more than a billion now. Although, unless I'm mistaken, trillion is not a real number, but it's what they use.
Mm. Well, I mean, because you don't have just the movie stars and stuff like that. You got everybody behind the scenes that work to put the shit together for them. So it's a lot of costumers and artists and set designers and all those things that go into making those movies, and that could be a lot of jobs for people, and it would bring in revenue for the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they're like, say, going to get extras or if they have to replace someone,
Hmm.
they have to get foreigners.
Yeah.
Yes, it would create a lot of American jobs. It is unfortunate they film these things in other countries. We do need more localizations. And what I mean by that is whether it be movies made in America, whether it be foods that are more localized instead of, having them shipped across the country to be stocked in your grocery store.
Yeah.
We do need more cars made in America, more electronics, computers. We're so dependent, especially on China. We are crippled by it. Now, I'm not a politician. I'm not a president. I'm just giving my opinion, and it won't change a damn thing. But I'm just glad that this president is attempting to bring more things into America.
Yeah. I think he's doing a good thing. Now, whether it'll actually work.
Is that article telling the truth or fear mongering? A little bit of both. And here's what I mean. He's using his tariffs as threats, saying, I'm about to implement this tariff to double your cost or whatever the case may be. And then he's waiting for a response. If they don't give him the response that he wants, then it becomes a real thing. So it's a threat to begin with. And then if, the response, depending on the response, it becomes more than a threat. It becomes real.
Yeah. But like I said, I think he's doing a good thing, because if not, there's just going to be that many more people in the United States without work. So there you have it. I mean, and yeah, he's playing an angle too. But if it serves a good purpose and it does a good thing, then let him play it, That's just my thought on it. So, yeah.
Well, it's about time to wrap this up. What do you think?
Yeah,
Hey,
I think
wake up.
so. I'm awake. I'm awake.
Hey, but hey, Sturgeon, even though you're named after a fish, we're glad to have you here. You're always welcome here. I like it that you're making conversations. We need more of that. We need interactions with the chat. That's what we're here for. We're more here for all of you than us.
Yeah, that's true.
And of course, Lilith is a great supporter. We know this.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. economy and toilet. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they fudged the numbers, so to speak, to make it look good. But no, they owe most of it to China, I would imagine. I can't say I know anything for sure, but that's what I believe from all the things that I've studied on it. So there, it's 6:43 a.m. Yeah, I believe she's 7 hours ahead.
Yeah.
And I guess she just falls out anytime and then wakes up again.
Yep.
she naps like a kitty.
Yep.
Most dead in China. Yeah, I believe so. Basically, China owns this country, and that needs to change. And Trump is trying to do some of that, but it's going to be a painful process.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really will be. I doubt he will change much, but he's attempting to change some. So anything, something.
Yeah.
Hey, not drunk today. There's times I've been on substances for a prolonged amount of time, and so long that when I got off of them, I felt like I was high or drunk just from being off of them. Now,
Yeah.
just to be transparent, despite the way I look and talk, I am actually not on anything.
Nope.
I'm clean. I'm clean. It's not like that. Despite the way I look and talk,
It's
I'm
because
just a bit frazzled today. It's been a rough week.
yeah. It's been a very rough week.
If you're on YouTube, hit that heart reaction. If you're on Rumble, you can always super chat or become a member. There's a link to my Rumble. Okay. I'm hunting the messages, but I'm gonna skip that.
And it's
Yeah.
only Monday.
Yeah, it's only Monday.
Yeah.
I only sleep in chair, passed out, drunks. Okay. You have any closing statements?
No. I
No.
just hope everybody I don't. I just hope everybody has a good night. And I hope everybody comes back on Thursday because we're going to be streaming again on
Right.
Thursday.
Yes, Thursday we usually more of a hangout stream. Not always, but sometimes. Okay, more times than not, it turns out to a straight hangout, have fun stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that none of my viewers show up like this.
You get nothing but all you fucking you get nothing.
Yeah, we don't need any of these.
Yeah, that one's I think that one's my fault too.
His job is look after American interests. So far, he's I don't know everything that Trump's done. I'm sure he's done some bad stuff, but he's definitely done some good stuff. And yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Whoa. I imagine that Sturgeon hasn't seen the infamous Ponies or the Snatch. Hey, but okay. Tune in Thursday. I'm sure you'll see them.
Yeah.
Ew.
It makes you wonder, don't
Okay.
it?
I made that cocksucking clip, with the expanding mouth for when Mikey shows up going, "You're gay, blah blah blah, get fucked, blah blah blah." And it's like, shut up, cocksucker. Here's
Yeah.
you. Look at him go. Look at him go. Just it's just not. Now we're cool. It's just back and forth bullshitting.
Yeah. But I hope everybody shows up again on Thursday. And you'll be doing reality based tomorrow, right?
What is no?
No,
Wednesday.
wait. No. I'm a day ahead. I'm sorry. You do that on Wednesdays. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself.
I have this little skinny bitch say this, so I don't have to.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
So when you're hopping around going, what do I watch? What's live? Choose me.
Oh God. Oh, let's get down with some Southern speak.
How's that Southern speak? Oh, okay.
Said y'all.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now we have awkward silence.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were going to say something.
Okay, but yeah, I'll be on reality based Wednesday. 3 my time, that's Central Time. It'd be 4 Eastern Time.
Yeah.
Any other time, do your own conversion. I can't name them all. And I'll have another show of mine Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Providing that God doesn't get pissed off and cut off power and internet.
Providing that, that God or the powers that be don't decide to bring a fucking storm and knock our power and internet out again.
Yeah.
Like it's been a regular occurrence lately. Yeah, you're welcome to come in. Yeah. Keep the conversation coming. And like I always say at the end of my shows, right? Keep bringing the noise. Because we and I sure as fuck will.
Yeah.
Because, noise pollution, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're out. Catch us Thursday. You can see me on Reality Based on Wednesday. I'm on there a little bit.
Yeah.
Not like my show. It's tuned different.
Yeah,
my
it
show's
is
better.
different.
My show's better. My show's more fun. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so anyway. Maybe I'm a little biased.
A little bit.
But anyway, yeah, catch me Thursday. We're out for now.
Bye, everybody.
Rock you,